Good evening, Internet, and welcome to Saturday nights. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Saturday nights, our spooky Halloween edition. Halloween was earlier this week, but we all just can't stop dressing up. We're going to do this throughout November. No, we're not. But thanks for coming to hang out with us today. I'm going to quickly breeze through our announcements, and then we will get back into the game. We've got our regular schedule posted below if you want to check out all of our upcoming and streams you might have missed. We have I think we had another episode of Tidefall last Wednesday for you to check out on our VODs, and upcoming this week we will have another session of. Are we doing All Myths Are True this week, or
no?
This upcoming week, no.
I'm so thrown off by everything.
No, because we are going to be traveling.
That's right. That is great. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about my own plans later this week. But anyway, so we have if just check out our schedule below, and you can see everything that's going on, and our Twitter for everything else. I don't think I have any other announcements, unless anybody else has anything that they can think of. No. Okay. Well, let's go and jump in, because I already can't take myself seriously like this, not in spooky characters. So let's go ahead and get back into the game with our recap of what happened last time on Saturday nights. Last week, you found yourselves in the city of Tolman Iron Eyes, deep into the depths, in the realm of suffering, seeking to assassinate this leader of this fiendish or this devil city, in hopes of escaping the depths by either destroying 3 of these archdevils or somehow finding means to escape otherwise. But you've been given this chain, this quest to follow by your new best friend, maybe forever, Azon the Exiled, who has sort of led you to this place and is aiding you on this journey. As you entered the city, you met a new friend, a dwarf who was imprisoned in a gibbet outside the city, named Kagan, who you convinced to join your cause and in assassinating this archdevil. You entered the city, hearing the screams, smelling the putrid stench of decay and death on the air, and following the rivers of blood. Very great holiday getaway for most of you to this infernal hell dimension. You were able to make into the city, avoiding any detection by the guards, and follow the river's blood to the citadel at the center, this large iron spiked construction in the heart of this city. You had a clever ploy to reach the challenge stone at the center of it, by just sprinting towards it and using your elk friends to distract some of the guards. I think we decide yeeted or yoded the blood into the onto the stone, which seemed to react using a bit of vial of Chad's blood. And as the stone hovered and then dropped with an explosive, resounding crack, everyone in the city, all the devils that were drawn to your attention, or that drew their attention to you, stopped, seeming to recognize your challenge. The doors opened, and you encountered Tolman Iron Eyes within his domain, within this citadel of torture. You had a quick skirmish with him, in which he seeming to exude this aura of fear and menace, paralyzed many members of your group, Some of you being largely immune to this effect, were able to thwart him and sort of repel him back into his lair. He retreated with a menacing request to follow him deeper in, as he didn't want this challenge to end so quickly. And that's where we pick up. You are in this. What?
Nothing. Just you're talking.
Okay. That I do, and will continue to do for the next 3 hours. We will pick up with the after Tolman has escaped deeper into the Citadel. The doors are still closed. It's this large iron kind of metal room on all sides. These pillars rising up in a few positions, kind of oddly distributed throughout the room, but have these spikes that are jutting off of them. Some have some little vestiges of gore on them, and then these hundreds and hundreds of chains hanging from the ceilings with these hooks at the base of them, as they are kind of jingling and kind of clattering amongst themselves in this as they hover and kind of sway menacingly. What would you guys like to do?
Well,
I'm just gonna breathe until y'all do something.
I guess we'd follow, though I don't want to go deeper into whatever this could be. I mean, if he's got these nasty spikes at the front, there's only going to be better things going in, right?
I've heard that expression, like spikes in the front. It's not a party in the back.
Damn it, you said it before I could.
Everyone all right?
Hazon comes out and says, I've done better. Not dead though, so that's a good sign.
About where I am too.
I'm okay.
Let's do this. Let's kill some devils.
You are
Short rest?
very excited to be up in the front, sir. You were just got right up in his business.
No, I want all that business.
Rolled on right up there.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be more of it.
I will remind you that as he vanished,
Up front, business in the back.
I think it was Hilda that found the blood spot.
No,
the trail,
it was one of those. It was.
I can't
Jules or
remember.
Kagan.
I think it was me.
It was one of you guys.
I think
was it?
I failed one of them. I think I failed the most recent one, which means that Jules is the one on the trail, I think. Right now.
Okay. One of you spotted the direction that you think he might have gone.
Yeah.
That way is what I would have said if it was me.
Is there more than one way, or is there only that way?
No, there are more of the passages that lead out of here. Yeah, there's like 5 passages that lead from this central chamber.
Well, let's get after him before he has too much of a chance to recover.
Yeah, and I'll try to be quicker on the draw, or else he'd be so terrifying.
Well, that's some very good, dancing.
I wouldn't call it dancing, but thank you.
I think I'm gonna wipe off some devil blood from Spinebreaker and then smear in my face and also lick some of it, ingesting just a tidge.
Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. A 12.
12.
I should not be. Oh wait. Yeah. I shouldn't be on. But yeah, 12.
It's not poison, is it?
You ingest some of the blood, and it's got has a metallic taste like you'd expect. Kind of mixed with a little bit of this putrid kind of rotten egg aroma. Your
Like
stomach
my
kind of
mom used to
gurgles a
make.
bit. Yeah, your stomach kind of gurgles a bit, and yeah, it doesn't feel good. Nothing else happens.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Well,
He is
shall
just
we?
blood, everything cool. I skin a guy. I enjoy inflicting pain. This world rules.
I think I'm just gonna start walking the right way.
Yes, please.
All right.
I just kind
Uh,
of grab Hilda, just start to go.
Okay.
Mhm.
So Jules and Hilda in the front.
And Chad.
Yes.
Okay, and Chad. The three of you go walking away, leaving your two newest friends.
Oh, after, yeah, I revel in it for a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. go.
Oh, okay.
Catch
His
up.
little legs. Okay.
And I guess Azon also kind of staying close, not when you get separated from anybody. But you head down this passageway. A couple of things strike you, and I think I
Oh, now.
talked about some of this before, but the architecture of this place is very alien to you. It doesn't seem to have any, especially because you did your stone cutting thing last time, Kagan, and so you maybe have historically a little bit of knowledge when it comes to some architecture, and I think even the rest of you, just through living in Ishfordian civilization and stuff, everything just is at weird angles. The walls of the hallway you're on kind of slant outward a little bit and then come together in kind of a like almost like a diamond pattern as you're walking through them. And the hallway seems to be kind of has like a gentle kind of curve to it as you are walking down it. You do notice there are more kind of rust colored stains along the floors of the ceiling of this still metal hallway. And though the screaming has stopped after Tolman appeared and you entered, there's an unsettling silence to this place, and an occasional like creaking of the metal and kind of this groaning that will kind of wash past you and as it's sort of beating through the facility. The further you head through, you do begin to see more spikes and hooks kind of coming out from the walls, like they're welded on. And you pass a section of the wall where it kind of opens up, and the passageway splits into this junction where you have the hallway you came through, and then two other hallways branching off. And here in the center, there is like this bed of spikes, about probably 50 of them that are coming up out of the ground, and you see the remains of probably 4 or 5 bodies that have been impaled down onto them, kind of stacked on top of each other. I'll say whoever's leading and trying to follow this blood trail needs to make a check for me.
That was probably me.
Okay.
Yeah, you're the one who found it.
Make a perception or a survival check.
I like to keep my eyes out for Iron Eyes.
Okay. Perception
if he
check.
shows
would work
up,
too.
I would like to start counter charming.
Yeah. So you make a perception check specifically looking for
This spooky guy.
Yeah, spooky guy.
15.
15. Okay.
13.
And what would you say your roll was, Hilda, again? Sorry.
13.
13. Okay. Yeah, you don't see anything, Hilda. No invisible creatures that you can make out approaching, anything like that. Jules, you do pick up on another speck, kind of a flake of blood, a little bit down one of the passageways. You walk up to it and you sort of dab your finger on it, and it is fresh. It does smear on the ground. It's not dried like some of the other blood around here. So it gives you the impression that something recently injured went this way.
The spikes, were they on the walls or the floor? Where did you say there were spikes?
The floor. Yeah, in the center
Floor.
of this like junction, there are about, like I said, like a bunch of like probably somewhere between 30 and 50 of these thin spikes that come up about 4 feet, bunched together in the center of the floor, and then they're.
But it's like in the center of this nexus. It's not like covering the entire.
No, it's just
we
in the
can
center.
get around them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think Chad is gonna try and quickly look and see, like, are there more holes for them to maybe spring out of before we just start stepping through?
Make an investigation check.
I am the one we want to be doing this. That's a 3.
Nope.
I rolled a 5.
Doesn't seem like there's any spikes hiding for you here.
If we look up, is there a hole in the roof where they possibly fell?
No, the spikes look like. I'll give you this because it's not difficult to see. The spikes that are in the center of the floor look like they were like welded here. It looks like.
Just looks like a decorative piece.
It's kind of a decorative piece.
Okay, it really pulls the room together. Really, just this kind of like body bouquet in the center.
Yeah,
brings it all to a point.
So yeah,
it's a good focus point for the room.
Okay,
Get
nice
out.
feng shui. It's like leaves the. Okay, so yeah, seeing Jules kind of paw at the blood. Paw. I could use a different verb for that. But yeah, Casey.
Yeah.
You got him. This way.
Yeah, this way.
All right. And if everyone's hanging back, I'll just push forward ahead of him.
Okay, I mean, I assume everybody's going that way, but
Yeah, I assume.
Kagan,
Just in case people are worried about traps, I'll push ahead.
Kagan takes the lead.
I'll find them.
Thanks, buddy.
Our trap detector said it's all clear.
As you head down that hallway, who leaves the room last? Okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate the volunteer.
Well, you never mentioned that I went with everyone, so I assumed I just walked off going, hey.
Yeah. So Finn kind of coming through the room last and maybe dwelling on the architecture and the spikes a little bit longer.
No feng shui in this place.
Yeah. As you go to turn to leave, you feel a tugging on the back. Do you wear a cloak or do you just have like your pantsuit?
I was given the cloak of the manta ray, but I don't think I put it on because I didn't think I'd be doing much swimming in.
Sure.
Okay.
You feel a tugging at the fabric of the pants that you're wearing, kind of around your ankles.
Oh, this is cool. I'm gonna look, and I'll be ready to shoot a kid in the face. It seems.
You turn back around and you see a hand wrapped around your ankle, kind of grabbing onto the base of the pant leg. And as you kind of look along the hand, see it attached to an arm, attached to a body, embedded at the bottom of these spikes. And as it looks up at you, it lets out a horrific shriek. As its cold black eyes, you look into these sort of voids that recessed into the rotted skull. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
I'm great at these. Can I use my reaction to use my little amazing advantage move?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you, roll 20. That's a 14.
Okay. With 14, you feel this cold, like impending sense of dread wash across you. You take.
Like that's it. We're fucked. I'll just lay down on the spikes. And
You take 10 points of psychic damage.
Oh.
And you see Finn cry out and sort of
5 bitches.
Oh, nice. So you only take 5, and as you kind kind of pull back, afraid of this and terrified of this thing for only a moment. You all spin around and see Finn kind of running up behind you, staring at the spikes. And Finn, after a moment, you see the that head, that hand that grabbed onto you isn't there anymore. You're not sure where it went.
So cool. Just testing everyone's reactions.
By
You all
screaming?
failed.
Was that you?
You all failed. That wasn't really a scream.
Yeah, I guess did we
I
all
don't
hear the
scream.
scream?
No, none of you heard the shriek. You just
Oh,
heard
just kidding.
whatever reaction that Finn.
Okay, but did
Oh,
Finn
they would have screamed
scream?
like
Yeah.
a little girl. And be like, no, it wasn't me. I don't know what it was. It just wasn't me.
Did you see him?
He screams like a goat.
Do you know those little screaming goats? That's the scream which I do.
Ah,
Well, he probably knows where we are now, so let's.
Sorry, I saw a stain on my suit which I missed with precipitation. I fixed it up though. We're all good.
you sure? Maybe we should stick together more.
Okay.
It's just like a battle cry or something.
I'm just letting them know we're here to party. Right.
By screaming.
We're here to do business out back, not out front.
You all continue down this hallway,
Thank
following
God.
Kagan. It begins to slope downwards, and you can see kind of the streaks of like blood that continue, these stains of something that is like following the flow and heading down further into this the bowels of this citadel. Eventually it does even out into a slightly wider, shorter room than before, or passageway, and you can see ahead of you about probably about 70 or 80 feet down the passage. It does look like it reaches some sort of opening or converges into another chamber. However, as you step into here, Kagan, as you were playing first, you feel a like a give underneath your foot, and a large about 5x5 section of the metal underneath just recesses maybe about like a quarter of an inch.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna be like start things, but I do have danger sense, so maybe I do actually have a reason to fear what this is.
That is a good. That I think that'll play it nicely with what happens next then, because I think you do feel this like shift in the air when you step on it.
Okay.
And you turn back towards the group, and anyone with a passive perception above a 15.
There's no way that I do.
I do.
I'll give it to
Mine
Kagan
is
because
15.
No.
okay, then you 15 or higher.
Okay.
So a couple of you, and then I'll give it to Kagan with the danger sense and the fact that you set this off. You hear this you feel the air pressure kind of shift, and then you hear this kind of whooshing noise.
Okay.
And it just keeps happening in this like rhythmic sort of periodic way and kind of like speeding up slightly.
Okay.
And Jules, you turn, it sounds like it's coming from behind you, back down the passageway from where you came from.
Okay.
And you turn, I'll say Jules, and then who else had the 15?
I have 19.
You do. Okay. And this is perfect because you're at the back. You do look back and you see you see a flash of something for a second, like dart across the hall. And then you see one of those like insects, and they've been around, these little like fiendish insects that have kind of fill this area, this region. It's kind of like bzzz through the hallway, and then suddenly there's that whoosh again, and it is just like bifurcated in the air, and the two halves drop, and you see another kind of whooshing noise, and it feels a little bit closer than it was before. You don't see whatever is causing it, but there's something approaching from behind, and it is getting faster, and it is approaching faster.
Finn, can you see it?
Run.
Now.
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone begins to.
I would pick someone up, but I'm not strong enough to even pick up Hilda. Run, Gina. We love Gina, right? She's still
Georgia.
Oh yeah.
Georgia, you got lost. You got lost, Georgia.
I'm strong enough to carry somebody, but I'm at the front, and I don't think I'd think.
I can run. It's fine. Let's just go.
I'm just
Aren't you on the badger? Just.
Yes.
I'll run ahead.
It's a giant badger, so I can.
Giddy
up.
Action music here. You all begin to run down the hallway, and you hear that just and it just gets faster and faster. It's coming behind you, and you begin to make out, I think, Finn, the appearance of this. Just momentarily, these blades that are dropping out from these tiny, imperceptible cracks that run through the metal, that are swinging and so fast and so sharp that they're almost imperceptible to the human or otherwise eye. As you all run down the passageway following Kagan, it is approaching very quickly. And if you stopped or stumbled or hesitated for a moment at this point, that it would be on you, especially those of you at the back. Kagan, as you're heading forward, you feel the ground sort of recess again as you are running. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I do.
You do have advantage. Yeah.
On this. So dex save 21.
21. Okay, you just drop. You again, the hair that's on the back of your neck stand up, and you feel this danger coming, and just instinctually, and you drop to the ground, just as a cluster of these spikes erupt from both sides of the hall, converging right above you, and then immediately retracting backwards, and just barely ducking out of the way. The rest of you see this happen, and you see we're about where he was. I can either have you all make dexterity saving throws to try to avoid it, unless somebody else has another means of avoiding this trap.
Can we just jump over the section of the floor that
you could try that too? I'd allow for an athletics check to try to leap over it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna do.
What about an acrobatics? Can I do a flip and a little twirl?
Okay, I'll allow that too. Athletics or acrobatics checks. I don't know if Hilda has anything fancy she wants to do.
I can throw
Does the
you.
giant badger have anything fancy?
Yeah, the badger. Hang on, let me look at the badger stats. I don't have its page up. Back tricks.
I am going to do it separately from Gina though.
Man, I have no tools. I just have Spinebreaker, and that's it.
I also don't think we really have time to be like, oh, let's try and stop this trap.
It would be hard if anybody wants to turn around and try to stop the trap. If you have something you can do immediately, that would be.
The only thing I was thinking, this isn't happening in character because I don't have this, but if I had a hammer and just because these are thin, imperceptible traps, if I could just break the stone a little bit and have the stone that. Squish it together just a little bit, it would slam into the stone. Maybe
it is metal.
The metal walls.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, that wouldn't work.
Anyway,
Not without a blowtorch.
Yeah, athletics, acrobatics checks from people that want to try that to avoid it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think anything.
Thank God I got a plus 10. I hate you roll 20.
That's a 24 athletics.
Nice.
Okay. Wait, am I more athletic than the badger? Yeah, I am.
You picked the badger up.
Yeah, I carried the badger. All right, let's see what I get though. I might roll terrible.
You use the badger to deflect the.
That might be what happens because I rolled like an 8.
Oh, okay. And then did Gina roll?
Gina rolled an 18.
Okay.
Jules rolled a 3
Okay.
because the natural 1.
All right. So, and then you were doing one check as you're riding the badger, right, Hilda?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Hilda, Badger, and Jules, the 3 of you are unable to avoid it, either trying to leap across, not able to get fully across, and then stepping out. I think the 3 of you end up on the trap at about the same time as the spikes converge. You can all 3 make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. All right. I'll pull this black one.
Hilda, just do what Mario does to Yoshi and just jump off the badger. Hi, Yoshi.
Yeet. Oh no. Dex save. Oh, that's a 9.
14.
Okay. And then are you doing just one for the badger and you?
Yeah, one for being a badger. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So not able to avoid it. It's gonna be 12 points of piercing damage to the 3 of you.
Oh man, badger's still up.
Have you done the check for Smiley McSmile?
Oh yeah, I do need to make one for him. Thank you for the
Ronald
reminder.
McDonald.
Ronald makes. Oh yeah, he leaps over it with a 20th acrobatics check, so he's good. So the badger is nearly impaled.
Badger's a pincushion right now.
Jules and Hilda, you take some scrapes, avoiding the brunt of it, but still being getting clipped a bit. And you all continue to run down this hallway. You're reaching about halfway point or 2/3 of the way there. Kagan's still in the front. And at that moment, that rushing noise is getting closer and closer and closer behind you. And you see it almost seems like an optical illusion at first, is getting closer, and then you realize that the ceiling above you is beginning to descend down upon you. Sort of the whole passageway beginning to crush downwards. If anybody has a reaction or anything they want to do around this time, you do get a moment to prepare or to do something. If you don't, then there's going to be a last saving throw to try to avoid getting crushed.
Oh, so it's falling down, not like Willy Wonka hallway, it just gets smaller.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is like the ceiling is slowly lowering.
Oh, okay.
This might be a long shot, but I think Chad is going to try and quickly turn around, time it, and try and throw the returning javelin to impact like where he thinks the whooshing is going to come from. See if maybe that does something, because it's a magic item and it's going to come back. So very little to lose here.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and I'll just say go ahead and make an attack roll.
Yeah.
We'll just see how good it's going to have a high AC.
Yeah. That's probably not good enough. That's a 14.
14. Okay. The returning javelin goes sailing through the air. It doesn't just get cut in half, but it sails through and to the end of the hull and kind of clatters. Then you return it, and that whooshing just continues to happen. It seems to have hit it kind of at an off moment.
Yeah. Well, didn't get the timing on that.
Do you think you can shove that javelin maybe up into the wall so it sort of stops it for a minute?
And try that too, as we're still
It's
running.
not where I thought you were going to shove that javelin, but...
Yeah, maybe we could like sort of like wedge the javelin sort of like in where the wall, like the ceiling and the wall is meeting, to maybe sort of like temporarily sort of slow it.
Yeah, so
Is my thought.
I think once it pops back, Chad will try and, run over to the side and just kind of shove it up as we're running along.
Okay.
Buys a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Make a strength check.
And much better at those.
Question: How big is Gina 2.0?
Actually,
She's huge, so she's about to have
so
a real
she's
hard
the
time
one
here.
who's gonna. That's
She's gonna be impacted first.
Yes.
I assume just a straight strength check.
Yeah, I don't really see.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
Just double checking. So that's only a 13.
Yeah, okay. So you attempt to shove it up in the ceiling, but it is like if smooth metal surfaces, and as you're running past, trying to shove it there, try to stop it, you just feel it immediately pushing you down. It doesn't feel like it's so perfectly constructed that it's hard to find like a hole to shove it up into. However, at this point, I think Chad's fallen back a little bit with these attempts to try to stop it. Still ahead of the blades. The rest of you are running ahead. Gina is being to slow down as her antlers are scraping the ceiling and getting very slowed at this point. I am going to have Gina make, basically all of you are going to have to make dexterity saving throws to avoid this. Gina's going to be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Should we just chop off her antlers?
That is an option.
The roof will do that, but
Alright. Is this still advantage for me?
Yes, it is still advantage.
Oh, good. That's fine.
But it's probably not going to help. 12 for myself.
Okay. That is a dirty 20.
Okay.
For Hilda and the Badger.
12.
That is a 12 for Chad as well.
Chad, Kagan.
George, I got a 10.
Okay.
Oh.
And I got a 13.
13. Okay.
Oh, wow. That -1 is really hurting right now, you guys.
All right. And Barry, what'd you get?
15.
15. Okay.
And Ronald McDonald needs to.
Yes. He gets a
I'm terrible with names.
18. Azon. I appreciate it. Okay. So Hilda, you got a 20, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
So here's what happens. You all are running down the hallway. The thing is closing. You're running as fast as you can. Hilda, you come leaping out from it. Azon comes leaping out with you. Boom! It shuts behind you, and you don't see anyone else in the party. Everyone takes 22 points of damage, and exactly when that happens, and kind of that like clicks in, and you see that, and Hilda, you're standing there in shock. Everything sort of disappears around all of you. And you're all standing there. I'm gonna say, actually, Finn, that's halved for you, the damage from that. And if anyone else had psychic damage, I didn't want to spoil it at the beginning, but if you have psychic damage resistance, then you would have been reduced for this.
Gotcha.
But it's all in our heads.
Cool.
And as it ends, and you all come out of this and realize what's happening, you find yourselves standing in that same hallway, about halfway down it. About 30 feet from where it opens up into the next passage. But everyone's okay. No one's been crushed to death.
How long did it take us to get there from the fight?
Not that long. You've only been going for...
Would Truside have done anything with my monocle?
For the sake of narrative, I'm going to say that Truside did not work at that moment.
It's truthy sight.
We'll just that would have
Truth.
yeah.
Like, why is everyone running? What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just one person watching from the side, like, ah, doing
Everyone freaking
just
out.
throwing stuff and trying to jam things. These guys are crazy.
But you all kind of come through like sweating, heads pounding, but alive.
Thought you guys all got crushed for a minute.
So did I.
Prestidigitation, the sweat from my suit, and everyone else because they stink.
He's just like constantly making everyone smell good. Don't like how this guy's messing with our heads.
To get our revenge by messing with his head,
On a spike.
very literally.
So how'd you do that, Chad?
Yeah, I'm
What's that?
starting to come around to a specific head on a spike.
As you all recover, give Ace on. Oh no, he didn't take damage for that. Cool. As
Rub it
the
in, Sean. Rub it in.
as the
Oh, my awesome NPC didn't take damage on that. Oh no.
didn't.
Oh no.
And then a rock falls from the ceiling and crushes Kagan, and Kagan's dead now.
But
Ah,
stone
that
cunning.
sucks.
No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so as the effect ends and you all recover, is there anything you want to do before continuing down the hallway?
I should probably heal me and
check.
Chad, huh?
Check for traps.
I see in our party inventory
Dark
we have
magic.
listed common healing potions, but not the number of healing potions.
Oh,
Good job,
really?
guys.
Nah,
Yeah.
heck.
These traps aren't real.
No.
Well, they hurt
Mm.
like hell, so.
Because your
Real in the
mind
mind.
makes it real, as I do the full-on Morpheus Matrix. Chad.
Yeah, I mean,
Is Gina
our minds are
dead?
making it real.
No, she's good. She's at like half.
Talk about a
She just, like,
migraine.
swooshed.
Like,
Aw.
This devil's gotta die. Do you have the trail again? Are we in a hallway? Is there no?
You're going one direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's back the
She
other
just like
way.
points.
Everyone
I
just
do,
points
yeah,
that
I just
way.
point.
Yeah, if you're gonna do any healing, go ahead and do that.
Shit,
And then,
yeah, I'm trying to decide what to do.
I'm gonna get a snack out of the fridge. Hold on.
I'm kind of pictures trying to jump out of that hallway, kind of like Avengers Age of Ultron starting shot, and next second just crushed. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of
we
how it went.
made it.
Savvy, I can do some healing for everybody.
If you want. I was trying
Yeah.
to decide which thing to pull from, because I was thinking I would pull from my channel divinity, but it only heals people up to half.
Yeah, no, I will.
Yeah.
Seeing her friends just get ouched in their brains. Yeah, Hilda's gonna pull out a couple of her bells and cast Healing Spirit,
Okay.
which sort of looks like a very sort of ghostly cat, kind of like Pinker a little bit.
Okay. What's the healing on Healing Spirit again?
Let me click it so we can see. 'Cause I
5, so 0.
call. It's a 1d6. I think per 6 seconds you're in it.
-5.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's
So
gonna
Yeah, I
be
should have had it do. Hang on. Why did
Yeah.
it?
because it's separate healing. So we're gonna have to do a little bit. So it's I think it's 10d6
Okay,
is
here.
the
Let me.
to-
Okay, let me change it so it outputs correctly.
is how many times you could hit it. So it would be 10d6
There we
minus
go.
50.
Up to a minute, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be 10d6, and then each time you're healed, it's gonna be 5 less
Yeah.
from what you. So you can heal for a maximum of 2 on or 1 on each one of those. So I will say it might not be the most effective form of healing in this place.
Hmm. But that saves Jewel spell slot.
It would. You just have to
And
roll
at least it's
very well.
And at least it's not like if you roll a 2, you take 3 damage.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to have it be that extreme. Because it's going to be, it wouldn't reduce it to negatives. So roll your guys 10d6,
Okay.
and I'll say you just heal for half of that
Okay.
instead. I think that's a more fair way to do it.
Yeah.
Or
Perfect.
just 1 for every 6.
Yeah, or you guys just heal 10 hit points.
We would have healed
Okay.
1.
All right, so I rolled a 34, so 17.
17. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
17 hit points for
Yes.
everyone for a level 2 spell.
I had 16 points of damage.
I
Oh,
just
good.
saw Kagan's hit points drop to 17. So
Oh no,
Oops.
Gina, get that too?
I did equals.
Or
instead
we had
of
Georgia right
plus,
now.
or minus, or plus. I mean.
yeah, the animals would get that too.
All right, so now, oh God, I gotta find out what my thing was again.
Georgia's doing great. You guys.
So my max is that plus the 5 from aid minus 22 plus
17.
17.
So you're just down 5.
Actually, yeah.
Just down the temp.
Actually, that brings me back exactly to what my normal HP is.
While we're doing this, Sean, can you make it so I can see Kagan's health bar?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. Did I not do that? Should be
Do
visible
we
to
know him
everyone.
well enough to know
He's
how
not.
healthy he is?
Oh, you know what?
He's
'Cause
not very healthy.
I made it visible to everyone, but I didn't check the C box. So,
Oh, that's just so annoying that it's like two separate things.
all right,
Thank you.
now everyone see it.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's is what it is. Okay, so you all spend a minute doing your little
Conga
having
line.
this
Yeah.
conga line through the
Yeah.
healing
Shawarma.
spirit.
No, I think the cat, it's like this sort of like ghostly cat, and sort of just like bounces around and kind of like weaves in around
Mhm.
out and like is doing cat stuff
Yeah.
as a cat
Chasing the
do.
laser pointer.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, and then it just sort of dissipates.
all right. You all get your healing for that, and you have about 30 feet of hallway left to get through.
Shall we check for traps or just walk ahead?
Walking ahead.
All right.
Okay.
Kagan
Okay.
takes off. The rest of you follow behind.
I'll
Nothing-
continue staying in the back.
Nothing else goes off. And you reach the end of this hallway, and you enter into another large chamber, a lot like the first one that you're in, except this one's a bit bigger. There are 8 pillars that support the ceiling of this massive domed chamber, equally spaced throughout the room. There's more of the same kind of architecture here with the these massive spikes jutting out from the larger metal surfaces, and then more of these dangling hooks hanging from the ceiling. These hooks do have the occasional body, long dead, presumably, dangling from them by the feet. In the center of the chamber, there are some torture implements that are easily recognizable. Tables covered with spikes and remnants of blood. Large, malicious-looking blades and other instruments hanging on the walls. And there is a large open kind of pit at the center of the room, about 10 feet across, that the whole room kind of slopes down towards. And you see the remnants of dried blood around the edge, as if this is sort of a drainage area for this space.
So it's just a very mild slope, not
Mhm.
like
No,
45
mild
degrees.
slope. Yeah, just like a 10-degree grade, enough for the any liquids to flow out.
Could I pop out Panger?
Yes.
Just have him sort of like sitting on my shoulders.
Yes. Panger kind of nuzzles around you and kind of, I think, feels the tension and feels the sense of impending danger. Kind of bristles a little bit and clings to you. And you hear a voice echo from within this chamber again. The voice of Tolman speaks out, echoing sort of omnipresent once again, and says, Good. You made it. I'm glad. I was worried you'd get hung up along the way. But I suppose, as you so elegantly put before, a challenge is a challenge, so we must conclude this little experiment.
Can I cast protection from good and evil on myself as soon as he starts speaking? Because I ain't gonna be no afraid, no little tempest.
Sure.
Right.
I'm gonna have everyone make a perception check.
Okay. Remember this one I
Okay. There we go. 25.
Ooh, 16.
8.
11.
Okay. 12. So the highest is the 25, I think. I don't think anyone else rolled. You said, who did somebody say 16?
Yeah, I said 16.
16. Okay. That voice still echoes all around you, and you don't, and you head a little as far in the room as you dare. I assume staying away from the pit at the center. And you hear the echoed and raspy voice of Tolman and the clattering of the chains in the ceiling. And as everybody's looking around, Finn, you feel this prickle on the back of your neck, and you turn your head and you see looming just above your group, sort of hovering, arms outstretched with a weird triple joint in them, the fingers kind of cracking and contorting, hovering there, sort of upside down. You see Tolman, and as soon as you lock eyes on him, he opens his mouth wide, those needle-like teeth bearing two tongues lolling from inside, and lets out a horrific shriek. As this happens, everybody turns up towards him, and he descends upon your party. Let's roll initiative again.
29.
Well,
Fuck yes!
he can't beat
Dang.
that.
Yes,
So-
Fuck with me.
It's a good thing that Finn was the one that got the
That he saw.
that happen. Okay, so with a 29, as Tolman is descending down, like hovering slightly above your group, arms outstretched, blades in hand, what do you all do?
Is he within melee of us yet?
I'll say yes.
I'm doing my usual stab and shoot.
Okay. You strike at him with your rapier and then feint
Shooting
back.
with my gun and then running away. And
Okay. I would like to. Okay.
That's
Let's see.
what the
I'm going to
important
start my
attack.
counter charm. I don't know if it affects anything, but I'm going to. Now that we've seen him, I was going to start doing counter charm.
Okay.
To see if that helps.
You can do that, yes. And let me know. So Finn, your curse continues. How long does that last for on an enemy? Because I think you'd used your Hexblade's curse last time.
Oh yeah, that would be gone. That lasts like a minute.
A minute. Okay, I didn't know how long that lasts for.
And protection from good and evil, I think, lasts 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. So you made your attack with your rapier. What'd you roll?
A 12.
Okay, so you miss with the rapier. It deflects off one of the iron bands that wrap around his body. Any other attack? You want to go and try with your gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try with the gun. Well, bam. That is an 18.
That does hit.
Oh, I get to do damage to it. And I have someone else within 5 feet of him, so I get sneak. And we just gonna pop you one for 29.
Nice. 29 points of damage. As the explosive, the ring from the gun that materializes in Finn's hand rings out. He fires the shot, and it blows a nice, neat hole in Tolman's robes as he drops down on you. Hilda begins her song, instilling you all with a bit of bravery. The rest of you.
I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good, but I'm gonna cast it on Chad.
Okay.
Yeah, then I think I'm just gonna try and axe him 3 times.
You're gonna ask him a question?
No, I'm done talking to him. I'm just gonna axe him. Well, I was gonna just click it 3 times, but if it puts that out every time, so that first one hits for a 21.
Okay.
For 9 slashing.
All right.
That's a 19 plus stuff.
That hits.
That is 11 more slashing.
Okay.
And third attack, 18 plus stuff.
That also hits.
That is full damage, 17 slashing.
Oof, nice.
And then I don't know if you can answer this, but how mechanically would it work if I tried to knock him prone while he's hovering? Is that a thing I can do, or do I need like Earthbind or something?
I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'll just go say hovering creatures are immune to prone. So
Okay.
yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
He can't be knocked prone.
Though I have to remember which one of these I want, but I will do the goading attack. So he needs to make a wisdom save. He's also going to take a little bit of extra damage.
Okay.
Takes 1 more point of damage.
Okay, that's an 11 on the wisdom save, so I think
So
he
he
fails
fails, so he has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than me until the end of my next turn.
Oh, that's
But he also
fun,
has
because right now he has
disadvantage
disadvantage on
attack
Chad too,
rolls against me.
bitch!
Okay,
So yeah, that was the distracting strike.
nice.
Or, no, goading attack.
Good.
Wait, no, which one was it?
That's goading.
Yeah.
That sounds like goading. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Excellent. So that's Chad. Hagen, you haven't done anything yet, have you?
I have not. So for absolutely pointless flare, I'd like to try to swing on one of the chains to swing up to him and with the axe
Okay. So yeah, the chains on the ceiling are a little too high, but there's the chains wrapped around one of the, I can say wrapped around one of the nearby pillars, and you grab onto that and you kind of go running around the outside of the pillar and kind of go
to, swing myself up.
Yeah.
And then
I'll allow it.
all right, through the air of frenzy rage, starting that. But I'll just get 2 normal attacks. And I'm going to do this sounds very reckless. So
this does sound reckless, yeah.
Two reckless attacks with Spinebreaker. A 23 and a 25.
Both of those hit.
So a 12 and a 14.
So 26 points of damage.
Yeah.
Oof, guys. All right. You kind of swing around on the chain, and you let go of the chain at the last second as you reach the apex of the jump, and then kind of spin through the air, tumbling through end over end like Sonic the Hedgehog, with your axe in hand, and then strike once, twice onto his back before crashing to the ground, leaving yourself open and vulnerable for a moment.
I would taste your blood again.
All right, so that ends all of your turns. It is now Tolman's turn. Okay. Couple of things that are going to happen.
Azon? Does Azon do anything?
Oh, Azon. Thank you. God, I suck with NPCs. I need to stop putting NPCs in fights because I'm just gonna.
I feel. That's how I feel every time.
Oh my God. All right. Yeah. Azon is going to use his bonus action and dash kind of back, taking a cue from Finn. Or what Finn was going to do, and tries to get out of the fray a little bit. He does loose 1 dagger at Azon at Tolman as he does, which will be a natural 20. Okay. For a total of, oh Jesus. I need to stop making NPCs that do damage too.
How do you want to do this, Azon?
Nah, not quite. So it's 3 piercing for the regular attack, and then 17 plus 26 on the second. I'm not even gonna try to do the math. I'm just gonna add it in separately.
43 for the second.
Oof. All right.
Georgia the giant elk charges at him.
Oh, jeez, I forgot about your pets.
He
Okay.
doesn't even get a turn.
We'll see.
Everyone just starts stomping him while he's on the ground.
It was a 16.
16. Okay. That does not hit.
I don't think so.
This
All right.
is for that whole way.
So that's going to reach Tolman's turn now. All that extra damage is going to change something. So Tolman, who is hovering above you and just took a crap ton of damage in that turn, rears back and kind of hovers backwards a little bit, and let his mouth sort of gaping open. This kind of inhumanly so. He begins to convulse in the air again, and you hear this snapping noise as you watch these cracks begin to run up the metal bindings around his head and his arms. And in one motion, there is a shatter, and all of those metal bindings kind of go exploding outwards about 15 feet away from him, and then sort of freeze in the air in a sphere around him. And as he stands there, you just see this there's this like heartbeat, and there's this pulse of red energy at the center of his chest, and you watch as he seems to grow in size slightly, and then you watch his arms crack and snap again, bending into strange and contorted shapes. And then with that last heartbeat, there is an explosion. He roars, and you see in his true form, Azon looming about 25 feet tall. His arms are now bent downwards into these sort of horrifying additional legs around him. His legs have sort of snapped backwards into this sort of quadrupedal form, and his mouth hangs open, and that helmet that was on that is shattered away, underneath it you see opening up, one silver eye snaps open and locks onto all of you, and he lets out a terrible shriek that shakes the room around you as he reaches his final form. So with that, round 2 boss fight begin. Tolman is going to drop down amongst all you, letting out a shriek, and is going to make 3 attacks.
All at disadvantage.
Yeah,
Unless he goes for me.
I was gonna say he's at a normal attack against
Kaden.
Kaden. I think he is going with. I don't want to totally go with the fiction of being goaded by Chad, so I think he does go for Chad initially.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say 2 strikes against Chad. First one, that disadvantage is killing. So that's gonna miss with a 13. Second one is only a 17.
That misses.
That was terrible. Okay, I think he is going to striking down twice with these his arms looming back away from the ground. One of them comes up, and you see this like black shadow mass surrounding it as he swipes down next to you, and as it just passes overhead, you ducking away, you can hear this kind of like cries of pain from within the shadow. He then tries to backhand and swipe back, and you deflect it with your axe. It is a heavy strike, and you gather his strength has compounded since before. He is then going to strike at Kagan, who's sort of vulnerable and open at this point. Mm-hmm. That's a 22 to hit.
Yep.
So that will be 23 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And 10 points of psychic damage.
Okay. So 23
Reduced
halved
to
is
11.
Or 11? Okay.
Yeah.
11.
And then 10 points of
And
psychic.
then 10 psychic. Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. That is going to end Tolman's turn, transformation, and 3 attacks. Back to all of you. One thing at the start of your guys' turns, there is the realm around you. This room seems to sort of shift and change as if the metal itself is responding to this unleash of power. And his lair effect is going to take effect here, and you watch as those chains across the ceiling and wrapped around begin to sort of animate and snake outwards towards all of you. Nothing is going to happen immediately, but something will happen here in a moment. So who wants to go first?
Okay. So he's like right up with us, huh?
Oh yeah, he's in the middle of all of you now.
Shoot. Well, it's gonna do it anyways. Phil's gonna like try to take a step back and get a little bit out of the way of the fray, and as she's like, she pulls out this bell that makes like a very like mournful sound as she's going to cast Eye Bite, and her eyes get all like black and cloudy and kind of creepy.
So like Sean's right now.
Yes, there we go. I was gonna say like, you've been messing with our heads, and now it's time to mess with yours. And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. That is a 3. That is very bad.
Yeah. Okay. So he is now sickened. He has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay.
At the end of each of his turns, he can make a wisdom save to try to end it.
All right. Yeah. You stop your song in that moment and begin to incant spells. You ring one of the bells, and there is that. That as your eyes turn black, you watch as he kind of begins to retch a little bit, and you see this like greenish ichor beginning to ooze out the sides of his mouth. And he seems sick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
If you want to go.
No, you go first. You go
Okay.
first.
Gonna start with trying one attack against Tolman.
Okay.
That's math. Okay, I'm gonna try a precision attack to see if that will hit, because currently that's a 14 to hit.
Okay.
Plus 9 more for 23.
Nice.
And he needs to make another wisdom save, but this time I'm doing the distracting strike, which will give someone else advantage. Or no, he doesn't need to do a save. This just happens.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and roll that, and then roll the damage. So he takes 13 points of slashing damage. And next attack by someone other than me has advantage. And then rather than going after him, I'm going to go try and go after some of those chains that have started moving, especially towards Hilda, and just try and like strike down the 2 nearest ones.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and do that.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that would be enough for the chains. Go and roll your second attack for it.
21.
21. Okay. Well, I'm going to give you for this then, because you specifically took 2 of your attacks to try to attack all of these. You go to the chains that are approaching the group, snaking across the floor, and you chop away at them, your blade cutting through them just effortlessly. They shrink and fall limp at that moment. And I will say, because you took the time to do that will negate the effect that was going to happen this turn with those chains. So awesome. Nice. So that's Chad's turn. Who's going next? What's that advantage?
I guess I'm shitting him.
All right.
Come on, crit.
Ooh, close.
25.
That hits.
28.
Oof. All right, 28 points. Piercing damage. Nice. All right. What's next?
Is that it for you, Finn?
Yeah, I shot him.
Yeah. I'm going to get to narrating some of these strikes here in a second, but I want to get all the strikes in first.
Okay. Recklessly attack. I'm gonna just target like the limbs. I want to try to hobble this thing, and
Okay.
so I will attack 3 times. I mean, in a natural 20,
Okay.
a 26, and a 15. I think that 15 misses,
The
right?
15 will miss, yeah.
Okay, so first for the natural 20, it's 3 plus. Sorry, I have
27.
24. Wait, what? Oh yeah, 27 altogether. But I also got to roll that d12 again because I have brutal critical.
Okay.
Well, plus 2. Okay.
I still rolled some good d12s on those. First
So
ones,
29 for that hit, and then for the second hit, 15.
15. Okay. Oof. All right. 2 quick strikes from Kagan. I think Jules is the only one that hasn't gone, except for the NPCs and the animals and everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let Georgia the giant elk try to ram him.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
actually just gonna have
thinking
Ace
about
on this
it.
attack, so I'm...
That's a 25 to hit
Okay.
from the elk. And she does. What am I doing? Is it hooves? What's happening? Ram attack. Yeah, it's hoof attack, which does a lot of damage.
Why does this token have a little black squiggle on one eye?
Because it's eye.
Does only one eye go back? It's like, "Grr."
No. Oh,
Pink
okay.
eye.
So it disappeared off of mine. I didn't realize it stuck around. I was gonna try to draw both eyes black, and then I was like, oh well, that didn't work because it disappeared. But I guess you can still see it.
Well, with her hooves, Georgia the giant elk does 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oof. All right.
Jeez.
It's for crushing Georgia and
think.
fuck Gina. Georgia's so much better.
It is so good. I don't know. They're
Gina's
great.
dead. Georgia's not.
Okay. And I had Azon go ahead and throw his 2 daggers. One was a 10, the other one was a natural 20. So he did 35 points of damage on that second hit.
My turn.
And Jules?
Yeah, can I cast Inflict Wounds on this motherfucker?
Yeah, might as well. Let's drop all the big bombs.
What? It's a 1st level spell? I'm gonna cast it at 3rd level though.
Yeah, I was about to say, the 4th level spell my ass.
Oh god, please hit, please hit, please hit, please hit. That's very good. It's a 27 to hit.
Whew.
Yeah.
Oh please, I can never remember how much damage a spell does. I'm so sorry. 3d10.
A lot.
4, it's 5d10. Those are d8s.
I like how this guy's like, I've so snuck up on these guys, they're not going to know what hit them. It's like, oh shit.
I
That's
was gonna give him a
33
surprise
necrotic.
33?
Yeah, eat my cleric shorts.
All right. Okay, so here's what happens to narrating all these attacks at once. So Chad comes in, gets the quick strike, then turns around to go on defensive, freeing all of you to come in for this barrage of attacks on this sickened now archfiend. With the shot from Finn, and then 2 massive strikes from Kagan, and then followed by the necrotic essence draining attack by Jules. You watch as Tolman sort of shrieks and retracts backwards, and some of the flesh beginning to is torn away and eroded across his chest, and you see that red light beginning to emanate even brighter, as you can see sort of peeking out from the flesh that has been unbound by the iron. You see this, what looks like the point of a red like shard, something crystalline, poking out from his chest, emitting this aura of red light that is very easily visible to all of you. At that time, though, he is going to make 2 attacks, sort of frantically swiping out towards all of you. I think he's still at disadvantage for like everyone now.
Except for me.
Well, and he's got disadvantage. Well,
His
no, 'cause
disadvantage on attack rolls.
Depends on how many times you want to.
Yeah, well, it only does it once and once. So if he has disadvantage and advantage, doesn't matter how many times, he still is going to end up with a normal attack.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But everyone else, he's at disadvantage for like a million different effects. So he's going to make 2 attacks. I think he's going to go for Kagan for 1, just because you're vulnerable. I think for the other, he's going to go at. He's going to go for Hilda with the eye bite because he doesn't like that. I don't like that.
Okay.
So he's going to make 1 attack against each of you with this. Against Kagan, that's a 16.
It matches. Yep, hit.
Okay. Hilda, that's also a 16.
I'm going to shield.
Okay, so you deflect it. Kagan, you take 22 slashing, reduced to 11, and 9 points of psychic.
All right.
And as he sort of like retracts backwards in sort of a predatory defensive stance, you watch as that black energy around his these hands sort of coalescing. He holds himself a bit higher, that red light glowing, and he lets out a terrible shriek again, and you all hear this rushing through the air, kind of similar to that noise you heard before in the illusion, and then erupting at all of your feet at this point, snaking amongst you, is a wall of spinning, whirling iron blades as he casts Blade Barrier that erupts underneath you. These shards of malicious black metal spinning through the air. And I'm going to need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Rolling at advantage.
Is it 24 for me, boss?
16.
Okay.
Seems low.
24, 16.
I'm gonna try my legend point.
I
That's
feel
much
like I
better.
want to use mine too.
The first
Okay.
one was a 3. The second one was an 18.
Okay,
Okay.
I am also using my legend point. Oh, that's better. Okay, Dexter, 21.
Okay.
I got 17.
'Kay.
And Georgia the Giant Elk got
And
a
Hayes done.
21.
Okay. Everyone
Oh,
roll
wait,
an
I should
18 or higher succeeds.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, Badger failed.
Azon also rolls a. Wow, that was terrible. Rolls in 13. Okay, so 18 or higher succeeds. That will be halved 21 points of damage to those of you that succeeded or on the success, which means 43 points of damage to everyone who failed.
I take 0. Thank you very much. 'Cause I'm a
what?
sneaky boy.
Yeah,
Is that
evasion,
Is that psychic damage or is it real damage?
slashing.
All right, so
is
that would be
real
half
damage.
for me.
Yes, it will be half for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Badgers goes.
And if it's halved again, if anyone's having it again, that would be 10 points of damage. So,
Is
Azon,
it just like a blade, or like a pole with spinning blades in front?
no. So this is a wall that is forming among all of you now. That is constructed of blades. He cast the spell Blade Barrier, and it does remain there after casting.
Okay.
Jules knows what this spell does.
And what I'm gonna have you all do is, yeah, I'm gonna have everyone roll. Essentially, we're just gonna do a D2. Anyone who rolls a 1 ends up in front of the barrier. Anyone who rolls a 2 ends up behind it.
Oh,
have a D2.
okay. I have one too. Where is it? Let's see. All right. All right. In one case, I get it. Hey. Okay, I'm outside of it.
That's a 1.
Or I guess if a 2, whatever 2 is.
Okay.
Oh, Hilda, you probably need to make an eye bite.
I do. I'm just waiting for her to hear
Okay.
this first.
So anyone who rolled a 2 is inside the barrier.
Oh, cool. I'm inside.
Oh, great.
All right, I'm
Is
just
that
gonna
good or
move my
bad?
token closer.
So of course the melee dudes got put outside.
Yeah.
I need to roll a concentration check.
Can you roll?
Okay, and I do as well.
I really want to do the whole "we're not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me."
All right. So who ends up inside the barrier and who ends up, and I should say inside is the 1s are on the same side as Tolman. The 2s are on the same side as, I don't know if
It's like a wall, or is it like
Yeah.
a circle around him?
it is a wall
Okay.
that's like cutting this room in half.
Okay.
One side on the people who rolled the 1, so I think Chad, Kagan, Azon, all ended up rolling 1s. Everyone
Wait,
else.
so 1s are next to him? I'm confused.
Yes,
Okay.
1s are next to him.
Okay.
2s are.
Well, you said
2s are
2s are
outside.
inside, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, let's
it's-
draw a line.
inside
Okay.
what?
Okay.
Inside is on the. Let's just forget what I said before.
One's next to
on-
Tolman, 2
Ones
not.
are next to him. 2s are on. Are separated on the other side.
Okay, now I'm not going to do my little quote because I'm not
It's
near
like that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Although we also have Kagan.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it. We also have Kagan. We
Okay.
want Kagan.
All right. I can't move Kagan's token, so hey, we'll have to do that.
It's the Badger dead.
Yeah.
Badger is dead.
Rip.
Okay. And Gina is still up.
Yep.
Okay.
Did Gina roll a 1 or a 2?
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, what'd Gina get?
Oh, well, she rolled a 1, so.
Okay. So
Oh,
she's on the
we
same
even
side too.
lose Gina as well.
Woman is so upset with this outcome.
Yeah. Well, for
I'm
now.
going home. Fuck this. I'm just gonna
uh,
walk away from this.
And
fight.
the wall, I'll give you a little more details on the wall so you guys can understand, because I'm sorry I did not describe it well that first time.
No, it's okay.
So it's splitting the room in half. It is a vertical wall of whirling razor sharp blades. The wall is 100 feet long. So it goes all the way across this room.
Yeah.
20 feet high, 5 feet thick.
Okay.
So, those of you that are on the side with, so Jules, Finn, and Hilda, you can't see what's happening on the other side now. You can kind of see. It's not fully, it doesn't fully obfuscate your vision. It does give 3/4 cover to everyone on the other side of it, though. So,
Okay.
and then, yeah, let me know if anybody wants to try to run through it. That's gonna end Tolman's
Okay.
turn.
I made a concentration check for protection from evil and good.
Yes.
I rolled a 17.
Okay.
I don't remember
think
what the number was, but I took
was
full damage
40
from the wall.
It was 43
So
damage.
Probably
so
not enough.
yeah, you would have
Don't
failed.
think it was literally possible for me to make that one.
Yeah.
Oh, why did it just go
Sorry,
so-
Chad.
Okay, and then I need to roll for my eye bite.
Yes.
And I'll make.
Okay, so I took 21 damage, so I have to roll higher than that? Is that how this works?
You have to roll. Yeah.
Right.
Half the damage
10 or
or a
higher.
10, whatever's higher.
Oh, half the
Yeah.
damage. Let's see, what's my con? 15.
15. Okay. You succeed. You still have that.
Tolman gets a wisdom saving throw at the end of his turn.
Okay, for the eye
He
bite.
does. He does.
Righty. That will be a natural 1. He fails.
He's
so
still sick. Barf,
yeah, he's
barf.
still sick there. That ends his turn, and back to all of you.
Can I just stroll through the blades, try and get to his side, and be like, "No, hello."
You can. You just need to make another dexterity saving throw.
Oh, shit. Let's succeed on this, so it looks like I just walked through without getting hurt. Let's go.
Or you just walk through.
No, I did not succeed.
Oh,
All right.
I'm just gonna walk through all confidently and just get fucked up.
It's like a bunch
So-
of thin bits.
Aw,
Yeah.
he
let me
gets
roll.
Legend
shredded,
point.
but
Legend
not
point.
in a good way.
Oh yeah, roll
yeah.
again.
Legend point.
19.
That does succeed.
Ooh.
And with my
Oh,
evasion, I
Doug.
take 0 damage. So I really just walk through like Homer going through that hedge.
Yeah, it's just this perfect slow motion walk, all the blades around you, and then just walks out on the other side like nothing is there. That's amazing. Okay. What about the rest of you? Let's do team outside. I want to see what team outside the wall does
Team
first.
outside. Hang on.
Team
Okay.
safe side, I'll say.
Yeah, losers.
Safe side.
Wait, they have all the
Alright.
healing on their side.
Yeah, I know, right? I would like to maybe try to dispel this wall
Okay.
of blades.
Alrighty, you can certainly try.
Can I help since that's a spell I can prepare and I know
Yeah.
about it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'd say you can definitely use your action to help her.
Alright, help.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Can
what
you
the
tell
level-
me what level it is?
Can I tell her what level it is? Because I knew.
It is a spell that you have access to. Yeah, so it is a 6th
It's
level
a 6th
spell.
level spell.
Oh, that's pretty big. I could try it at 5th level.
Okay.
Yeah, because I used my
I'll,
6th
and I'll
level
let you know
spell
this
already.
at if you're not casting at the level of the spell, it won't make a difference. So if you're not going to cast it at 6, you might as well cast it.
Oh, at 3rd. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was curious how that worked. Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, yes, I'm gonna try to dispel magic. Okay, and then I have to roll. Click.
And you get advantage on it because of the help.
Okay.
So you'll roll a. I don't know if you use your intelligence or charisma for dispel magic.
This is a charisma one.
Okay, so you'll roll
Roll.
charisma.
Yeah, the little note means it's a bard spell.
16.
Natural 20.
That's a success.
So that plus my spell stuff, that is 23.
Yeah, that'll
Imagine
Oh,
if it had
yeah.
gone through the
Anything.
blender first, and then it's like, oh wait, I got this.
That's why he takes no damage. He starts walking through it and then it just like dissipates as he goes through.
Okay. Hilda, you crack the bell and there's this beautiful ringing noise that echoes throughout the chamber. And as it happens, you watch all the blades kind of begin to oscillate with that same frequency, and then they individually each just shatter, fragmented into pieces, and fall to the ground like iron dust, settling. And the blade barrier is destroyed. As you go to put away the bell, you look down and it is slightly glowing in a way that it wasn't before. The ruins across it sort of better kind of in focus, and the whole bell kind of looks restored almost. We'll get to that in a little while.
Team outside.
Heck yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
what is everyone?
team.
Now we're all team outside.
Yeah.
True,
Oh.
there's no teams.
What's everyone doing now? I'm gonna have Azon just make his attack so he can just get that out of the way, and I don't have to end on his turn anymore. That's a 19, so that'll hit.
The animal's gone already.
I guess I'm gonna
Yo.
at least stab him as I walk past and save my gunshot for if I get a chance to get bonus stuff. So
Okay.
Stab attempt as I walk through, just 22.
Yeah.
22 will hit.
I can do my attacks and try and get another distraction on him.
Okay, yeah, that would be
Someone
good.
Advantage.
So Finn, you are out of the danger zone.
Yep, that is 27 to hit.
Yep.
He is going to take. Oh, that's very good. I rolled. Let's see, that is 24 points of slashing damage, and he's distracted. The
Okay.
next attack by someone other than me has advantage.
Okay.
But I'll go ahead and do my other 2 attacks now. That's only 16, so that misses. No, I'll do a precision attack.
Okay.
Plus 9 more, so that hits.
Okay.
12 more points of slashing damage. Let me
Nice.
make sure. I have one more superiority dice. I'll hold on to that for now. Third attack. No, that's gonna miss.
Okay. So you do hit with 2 of your strikes. One of them distracting, bringing the attention of this monstrosity towards you. Finn, you've able to, with your first attack with the rapier, feint and get away from him. So I think that leaves Finn with 1 more attack, and Kagan, you still get to make yours.
Yeah,
Finn,
I'm just
did you
gonna
already-
quickly
or-
bonus action second wind to heal.
Okay. Yeah. Go and do your bonus action. And then
Jules, did you go?
Yeah, I helped Hilda get rid of the spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the elk, did Gina go?
No.
All
I'm
right, she can
shooting
use
before
she'll
Gina.
she can use the advantage more than I could.
I still have a second attack.
Oh,
yeah.
you still have a second? Oh, you take it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do
When
that.
I use a melee weapon, I can shoot this dude in the face.
26. Nice. Yeah, that'll hit.
Quit ignoring me.
Notice
It's only 12 damage.
Did you put your sneak attack in that?
I
Oh no, you did your sneak attack
before.
before. That's right. 12. That's still good though.
Because he didn't expect someone just to stroll through the barrier like I don't
No,
care.
it did not.
Ah.
I'm actually going to delete the barrier off here because it is not needed. Okay, so everyone, the Kagan, that is still to you, and then Gina needs to make her attack.
All right.
Gina kills him and just.
I know. I'm gonna give Gina a chance to end it.
She's 7. No, wait,
Okay.
that math is bad. 10,
No,
which makes
that-
a difference.
Okay. 21, 28, and a 13. So
so
first
2 hit. Yeah.
13 and 14.
All right. 13,
Still going for those limbs.
So it's
Flavor wise.
27. Okay. Yeah, I think you chop at him twice, going for the same leg. I think with that one you just fully just cleave through one of his back legs, and he sort of stumbles to that knee. Pool of blood across the ground. The rest of you have slashed across him, causing more tears and openings across his body, and you can see the kind of flesh pulling away. And there, in the center of his chest, you see that red crystal just glowing there and pulsing, now sort of like frantically pulsing. I think that's everyone's turn.
We gotta pull that thing out.
Okay. It is going to be Tolman's turn now. Is in a pretty bad spot. He is going to make 2 melee attacks. The first one is going to be against Kagan and no, okay. Yeah, I think he's just, I mean, Chad and Kagan and Gina are the only ones around there.
Mhm.
I think he's gonna go for Gina because he's just tired of this elk hanging around. So we'll go for that first. He's disadvantaged though, right? Yeah, so that's a natural 1.
Oh,
Ha
The second strike, I think he's gonna go for
yeah, go for it.
Chad, because you did the distract.
okay.
No,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go for Chad this time.
Okay.
Disadvantage still. That's an 18.
That meets.
Okay. That'll be. Why is it doing damage like I critted? I did not. That'll be 12 points of slashing. Geez, I rolled terribly on those. And 10 points of psychic.
So 22 total.
Yeah. For those are his melee attacks, and then he is going to cast. You watch as he then kind of mutters under his breath again, and as he begins to the crystal kind of glows in it like a black color now, and that black energy begins to kind of cloak his body, and these shadows almost seem to coalesce around him, and he has this sort of exterior shadow cloak that is falling around his body. That's everything for his turn, though.
He makes the wisdom save for eye bite.
Yes. It's a 6.
No.
Oh man, so nice.
I'm so happy with how unwise this guy is.
Yeah.
I thought for a minute, I was like, should I change it? I was like, I'll just leave it for now.
I know that feeling though.
All right. Start of your guys' turns. Something happens in the room for just a moment. All of you, kind of similar as in the hallway, you feel that same sort of presence, but you're familiar with it this time. You know there's some sort of like magical effect that is pulling something from you, and you all watch sort of materializing there in a space in front of you, separate from everything else. Out of black shadow, all of you see a form appear at the same time. You all see something different. I want you guys to role play this and to think about what you see. We're not going to go through that right now because you don't have the time, but definitely think about it, because you all see a materialization of your worst fear appearing before you. Something pulled straight from your darkest nightmares, now made flesh in front of you. All of you make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Do I, or am I immune to this, or?
Is this a fear thing?
20.
It's not. Yeah, it's kind of a fear effect. It's not. It doesn't give the fear effect afterwards, but it's like an illusion kind of fear based thing. I'll give you advantage on it. For those of you that have the protection from evil and good, or
It vanished.
And okay,
Not me.
14.
9.
17.
okay.
Out in the dark, true sight doesn't save me from this, does it?
No, I don't think so.
Stabbing the proverbial
a
wisdom. True sight, protection from good and evil. I'm a nice guy.
It's kind of weird. It's a weird effect, but I don't think it necessarily saves you from it. I think you realize it's an illusion, but you don't necessarily. It still kind of rocks you in that moment, and it does have the attendant effect. Did anybody else? Who else rolled lower than a 15?
I rolled a 27.
Okay, so
Holy
Hilda and Jules, you still see it. It doesn't bother you as much, though. You don't get the same effect. The rest of you take.
Can I share some of Jules' wisdom? It's just like, it's not real. I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
Well, that's about the most terrible D6 rolls I ever made. You take 4 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
Aww.
Half if you're
Cute.
resistant.
That's so cute.
oh
Yeah.
no. We've almost. I stubbed my toe.
Yeah.
I've never been seen wearing a two-piece.
I like describing this really dramatic embodiment of your worst fears and then rolling shit balls on my damage. Okay.
You wanna
Oh,
roll?
we know he's desperate.
Yeah. They're just tiny versions of your worst fears.
So little.
All right. It's your guys' turn now.
Can I heal everybody before everybody runs off and does more stabbing?
Yeah, you can do it first.
I'm
Great,
actually pretty good.
Well, some of us are not.
I think I still have more hit points than Finn.
Some of us took
I'm-
a big
I'm-
hit. I mean, if you don't want it,
I'll just step away just outside the range of the
I'm gonna
healing.
cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Don't need
Is that
to-
a real
Oh.
max HP, Finn?
53?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
I'm a squishy boy.
Yeah.
I have a
You're
10
super squishy.
constitution, okay? I have no bonus.
Ah, that's a.
I mean,
It's
that's
so
what
sad.
mine would be if I didn't have the amulet. Be at like 50
Yeah,
something.
I've taken. Oh man.
It's mine.
Yeah,
I've taken 71 points of damage, and I still have more hit
What's
points.
my
than you do.
healing? It's minus
Max.
5.
Yeah, -5.
Okay, so everybody
Oh
gets
man.
25.
Oh, yes.
Oh
okay.
my god.
I
Really?
gained that 2 damage I took back.
Is that with the -5 already?
That is with the minus 5.
Jesus.
Oh,
and
my
I
life
get
clerics.
more
Yeah, she
Wow.
because if I heal someone, I get extra. So
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
I
Wow.
don't. I need a lot of help.
Wow.
Okay,
someone
let's
already
get.
get
Let's
Oh,
do
wait.
your guys' attacks.
I'm getting Gina.
thank
okay.
you.
All right.
Unless someone wants to do a setup, I kind of just want to action surge and hit this guy 6 times.
Wait, 6
Yeah.
times?
Just do it. Just go.
I'm
Alright.
rolling all my
Roll.
d20s.
All right,
Go, go.
Let's see.
give the Devil Prince the first
I would
crack.
like to hinder Chad.
So
Rude.
3 of those were not great. There was a 1, a 3, and a 5, but then the others were 2 13s and a 15, but plus 9, so 24 and 26.
Anything 16 or higher hits.
Yeah, so 3 of those are gonna hit.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and let me bonus action Radiant Smite,
Okay.
a Branding Smite, whatever that one is.
Spite.
So this is gonna be, I believe it's a 2d6 to hit. Well, with the branding.
Yeah.
So 6 radiant, 8
Okay.
slashing on 1, and then 2 more. That's max damage and almost max damage. So 17 and 16 for that's 33 more slashing between those two.
Oof. Okay.
And these have all been trying to aim at the crystal in his chest.
Okay. It's good to know. You hit 3 times. So 3 times, each time you hit, that black shadow that is encompassing him strikes out at you, sort of ripping like a whip, striking at your flesh, kind of tearing some away each time. So you take 21 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. I assume that's across the 3.
Yeah, that's across the 3. Yeah, I just rolled it all at once.
Okay.
All right. That Chad levels 6 strikes against him. Tolman deflects some of them, but 3 of them strike home, kind of carving out more of the flesh around his chest. That crystal beating even more frantically. The rest of you.
I think I'm gonna try to loosen it from the back and go from like go the spine breaker route, and I'm gonna try to loosen it up from the back, chopping at the spine behind where the heart is.
Okay, go for it.
Recklessly attacking. We've got a 27, a 17, and a 16.
All 3 hit.
So that's going to be a 13, a 17, and a 20.
Okay.
That's only a cash 50 points.
All right. Geez. Okay, so you do your 3 attacks there, chopping through the back and just ripping away, carving through bone and sinew and muscle. He's shrieking in those contorted arms, reaching back towards you. Who hasn't taken their turn yet?
The other 3.
Yeah.
No, wait, you healed. Sorry.
I
Jules
did.
went. Yeah, she healed.
Whatever, other than Jules.
In case anyone at home was
Arizona.
wanting to know, I
No.
healed myself 32.
Oof.
Nice.
Life clerics are great.
Okay.
Gina the Giant now rams him.
Get him,
Okay.
Gina.
Got elk.
It's bad. It's bad. It's like 12.
Okay, yeah.
What is
Continue.
Gina's worst fear? Being small.
Yeah, Gina just sees herself as a little
Losing.
mouse, but
Just-
with antlers.
Probably just tight hallways.
Also that.
So Finn and Hilda.
Okay. See this sort of like glowing crystal is gonna take out her crossbow and try to shoot it.
Okay.
It's like aiming. So crystal. Let's see. Let's see. 13. That's 17.
That hits.
Oh, okay. That does not very much damage, but maybe it helps. 6 piercing.
That's exactly how many hit points he has left.
Yes!
Do it! Do it!
All right. So
Yes!
Hilda!
6.
Hilda!
Yep. So I think here's what happens. Finn, do you want to add in a shot or 2 here just to finish it out? I know what everyone else is doing. I don't know what Finn's doing. Oh, you want to wait until after he falls?
I'll wait till he's down.
Okay.
Then I'll have my fun.
So here's what happens. We have the burst of radiant energy from Jules as she instills everyone with life energy, healing your wounds, bringing everyone back up to finish the fight. Rest of you charge in, Chad leveling a frantic barrage of strikes to the front of Tolman's chest, near carving out around the crystal as Kagan leaps on his back, leveling 2 strikes straight into the spine of this abomination. Tolman falls to his feet as Gina comes charging in, and he grabs onto her horns, holding her at bay as she pushes him back. And then in that moment, you see Hilda standing to the back, shaking slightly, and then firing the crossbow as the bolt streaks through the air and it strikes into the chest behind the crystal, and you hear a cracking noise as the crystal drops to the floor. At the feet of Tolman, resounding off of the iron floor around, and Tolman shudders in that moment and contorts, and the spine cracks backwards, throwing Kagan off, and he contorts side to side, limbs twisting, joints snapping and popping as he crashes in on himself, being reduced down to this smaller and smaller size, as he's shrieking along the way until there's this mass of dark shadow energy in the center of the room, hovering between all of you, and then it just explodes outwards in this shadow, splinters of shadow and iron and metal all around you, and Tolman Iron Eyes is defeated.
I missed that last bit. Is his remains still there?
No, the remains have been destroyed. But
not this time, weirdo.
Are there some bits of spine left?
Yeah, they'll say there's some bits and pieces around. There's a
bit that Kagan was hanging on to.
Okay.
That's not the music that I want. Hold on.
Oh, but it was so nice.
It was nice. That's not the music I want, though.
Oh.
Hey, everyone want a sarsaparilla? Looks like y'all just defeated an arch
And
devil.
with that, the crystal at the center of the room glows, and it retreats from. It still has that reddish color, but you see this golden light from inside of it that seems to peek through, as if like a candle shrouded in red glass. And as all of you look at it, Barry, Jules, Hilda, and Chad.
Who's Barry?
Finn, Jules, Hilda, and Chad.
No,
You let my real identity out.
It's like you're supposed to bury the jewels.
Your eyes are drawn to this radiant light, and the world around you seems to vanish for a moment. And we're going to take our break there. Because unfortunately, I think Barry has to go.
I have a 15-hour day of work. Woo!
Yeah. So we're going to come back to conclude this and do a couple of things. I'm sorry you got to go, Barry. We'll fill you in on what happens, I'm sure.
I'm in a little gem.
Just gone.
Working out, getting a sweat going.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will be back in a couple minutes. Everyone, stick with us, and we'll see you soon. Hello, Internet, and welcome to more of our spooky Saturday nights here at the beginning of November when they're playing Christmas music already. Fuck those people. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. Taking a real hard stance here at the beginning. We're back for our second half of our game. Like I said before, we had to go. Unfortunately, Barry had to leave because of work. Stupid work. But we're gonna keep going. So, all of you except for Kagan and presumably Azon, you see this light, and it fills your vision, and it's just light, all consuming light around you. And then you're standing in a chamber of incomprehensible brilliance. Walls of a gleaming translucent substance stretch up to a domed ceiling at a dizzying height, filtering a golden light from beyond. At the center of the chamber, 6 thrones form a semicircle, and 6 gleaming, near indistinguishable forms rest upon them. A deep, wizened voice speaks from a central throne. Come now, be it upon us to determine the appropriate course. Sister Scholar, you have been soft of voice in this matter. What thoughts weigh your mind? From another throne, a voice like a soft bell resounds. These creations of ours, dear brother, I feel a plucking at the weave which unnerves me. Something new. The figure at the end growls, brilliant yet darker than the others. We should end them and be done with it. Your experiment failed, brother. Not yet, says a stern, matronly voice. The wheel is in motion. They shall determine their own fate. The first voice speaks again. We cannot take action yet. By the accord, we have bound ourselves under the light of the convergence. We must wait and observe. A ragged voice speaks in a strange, mirthful tone. Send the arbiter. The figure shifts, weighing the words carefully. You step forward, realizing your body is not your own. You stand among the 6. A voice not your own speaks. I shall go, and weigh their actions accordingly. The ethereal figures nod, and you turn, the brilliance of the outer light consuming you as you exit the chamber. You all stagger backwards and find yourself standing once again in the citadel of iron, with that red crystal lying on the ground in front of you.
Did the rest of you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What was it that you saw?
It was like a vision or something, but I don't know if we can trust anything we see in this realm.
I did not see a vision.
No? Kagan, did you see anything?
None. I just saw that we kicked the ass of that devil.
Right, I almost forgot what we were doing for a minute.
He says as he tries to take some of the spine bits and fashion it and add it to the spine breaker.
Sure.
Is that the gem that fell from him that we sort of saw was all glowy? Is that still there?
Yes, it is.
By the way, Kagan didn't see that, right?
Kagan did not.
Okay, I'm just making sure I heard that right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, the other 3 and Finn nods that he saw it.
Awesome.
Is the crystal still glowing at all?
Yes, it is still glowing. That same, it's brighter than it was when it was in Tolman's chest, and it has that kind of, again, it looks like it has like a golden light within it, but that the outside is this like red crystal that is housing something shining inside.
I was considering smashing this before that happened. I'm wondering if we should just take this and hang on to it for now.
I could spend some time with it, try to figure out what it is. If anything, it sort of proves that we just took down one of the archdevils.
Yes, guess that makes us rulers of the city. Turning to Azon with that.
Is like still looking around, sort of disbelieving. It says, "As I suppose that, yes, that would be by the law of this domain. You now rule the Iron City."
Well, I always figured I might become landed, but this was not how I expected it to happen.
Now I should mention that they'll follow your commands, but they may also challenge you for your position after a time, so probably want to do whatever is you want to quick.
Yes.
Makes sense. Well, I mean, becoming rulers of this city is not necessarily one of our end goals. Perhaps we could pass the title on to somebody else. Don't know how wise that is. Maybe we could sell it to the highest bidder. Maybe we can get something out of this.
That's actually not a bad idea. If you find somebody that you could leverage, just know that everyone is probably going to try to stab you in the back eventually.
Right.
Here's a thought, Azon. What do you think about ruling the Iron City?
This ruling is not really what I want. My plan is to leave with all of you when you finally go. So that's what I'm going to stick with for now.
Figured as much, but thought we'd offer.
I appreciate the sentiment.
I can't remember. Did we tell Kaga that we were trying to leave this realm?
No, we told him
At
we
some
weren't from
point-
here, so
Okay. Well, Kagan, we are trying to leave this realm.
Okay.
I don't know if you would like to come with us.
All right. Kagan is like breathing hard and sweating. And
Yeah,
just,
he's like,
this little
Yeah, you have
guy.
2 levels of exhaustion now.
Yeah.
oh, you're a tired boy.
Yeah. Do I I don't know what my experience in hell has been so far.
Not great.
Do I
Kind of the
know?
worst.
Do I know? Or do I mean Azon will know if I don't probably, but like how far away the next place is. Next step.
Yeah, I like the idea that you probably know too. That maybe you were traded between a few before you ended up being sold to Tolman.
Little whipping boy.
Yeah. You know, the closest to where you currently are would be the domain of Irgumen the Haunted.
Do I know anything about the terrain that lies in between here and there?
I mean, it's the terrain between is mostly the same as it is throughout the entirety of the Sepulchre of Eternal Fire, where it's lava and deadlands and that sort of thing, sort of blasted land. I don't think you were ever kept in the domain of your Gamun.
Okay.
Because I think you might have passed through there or passed nearby, and from what you saw, it was blackened, dark, and shadowed more than the rest of the territory is. Maybe it's like your little like caravan that you were being transported on went past, and you saw a high walled city that the walls presumably made of stone, but almost appeared like ivory or bone from a distance.
Okay. I think Kagan's gonna kind of plop down onto the floor, with the kind of axe kind of in his lap and just kind of breathing heavily for a while, and if you don't want to keep the position here, maybe we could leverage it for transportation or means of transport. The
I
winged
like the
kind.
sound of that. It was difficult to get here, and any way we can get to the next place quicker means we get to leave this place sooner.
That sounds like a good idea. I'm sure you could get some. I could help you get some transportation. I think I'd know who to ask around for. Probably requisition something from the army.
I've seen the walls of this place. We might want something that can either fly or is good at climbing. Or burrowing, I guess.
Well, if your plans are to enter the domain of the haunted, then yes, something flying might be the best approach. That way you can avoid the experiments that wander the streets.
Experiments?
Yes, we haven't really talked yet much about the next place, but your Gamun is, well, he has sort of a fascination with the sepulcher of utter gloom and the undead there. A long time ago, he was able to attain a fragment of undeath and has used it to experiment on his soldiers, creating sort of undead fiends and other strange creatures that he commands, obedient, kind of stupid. So, flying or something to avoid having to fight through hordes of undead monstrosities would probably be the best bet.
Yeah, I like this plan. It's sounding better and better.
Not as fun, though.
Jules, you've been rather quiet.
I'd rather just burn this whole place to the ground, but it seems like our best bet.
What is this place called? Sepulchre of constant burning. I don't know if that's going to help.
This
Eternal
is
fire, yeah. Most things here are sort of fire resistant, but
This headband that makes me smarter than normal also taught me metaphor.
Well,
I'd rather
as you can see,
just destroy it, but
as you can see, I'm not wearing any fancy head.
Yeah, maybe we should get you some clothes too. Would you? I mean, it's a good look, but maybe you'd like something a little more protective.
From what?
From what indeed? That's a good.
do you, Kagan? Do you have any use for chainmail?
What is that?
It's like what I'm wearing, but sort of chains all. It's metal and very heavy, and
No,
it
no.
protects you. Can you wear it?
No,
Never mind.
I don't want any of that rot stuff. I like to move freely.
Right. Well, Azon, you said you might be able to figure out some transport, and you think they would take becoming leader of the city as payment?
I mean, I would probably frame it like a demand from your new overlords. They'll give us payment. We leave before some up-and-comer decides they want to become leader of the city.
So,
You leave the power vacuum, they just fill it themselves.
Can't
So
kill
we
us if
mar-
we're not
Okay,
here.
nice. I like the sound of that.
so we emerge from the Citadel. Tolman Iron Eyes has been defeated. We give you notice that we seek favors. We will begin taking audiences in 12 hours, some amount of time. Let them fight amongst themselves. We wait in here, then we show up and see what they decide, what they come to us with.
That's not a bad idea. I can sow some rumors about what you're looking for. I wouldn't imagine many of the more powerful, the higher ranking members of the military here are going to entertain that. They're probably going to squabble amongst themselves for a bit and then come here to kill you. 12 hours is probably enough time. There's some paperwork that they'd have to do first. So,
Well, there are lots of
course.
things that are
What an
different here than
organized
our.
coup.
There are lots of things that are different here from our home plane, but it seems the nobility stays the same no matter where we go.
I can't wait to visit it.
Dad's not sure if that's a dig at him.
It's
doesn't
not,
say
but
as
I don't know
much.
if he knows.
Inside.
Jules didn't mean it that way, but I don't know if Chad knows that.
So just to clarify some things that might have been obvious to everyone else, is the crystal a sign, like basically the talisman that the next Devil King takes, or is it something else?
It is now.
I think Azon would, if you guys had any conversation about it, Azon has no idea what this thing is. It's not.
Okay, so that this is a
But
TBD thing still.
this, let's say, so let's have Hilda do her check, because I think
Yeah,
it'll
I want to
clear
look
up,
at it.
yeah, it'll clear up some information about it, because you were planning on, you want to do identify on it? Or do,
Yes, I would like to identify.
let me go to make an Arcana check too for me. This just for
Okay.
the identify will give you
Nice.
what the thing does. The
Mhm.
Arcana check will give you maybe some more context as to what it is.
Okay, so yeah, she's gonna stoop down near it. Sort
And bite your face.
inspect it. Okay.
It was a mimic the whole time.
And the eggs around the
Word.
outer side rim of the room start to open. And,
No. Okay, Arcana. That is a dirty 20.
okay. So here's what you know, just looking at, I think, pulling some context clues and stuff. One, you know that the arch fiends that are in charge here have always been in charge. This is probably some piece of the source of this archfiend's power. Something, whatever had elevated this creature to this position. So probably nothing here will be, even if another devil were to step into this vacuum, nothing would probably be as powerful as he was without claiming this. I don't think you have any reason to believe any archfiend or any other fiend here would even know about this item, because it was only revealed to all of you after you had brought him to the point of having to break his bindings and release his full power. So that's what you get. From identifying it, you identify this as I think it's something that comes from some like hypothesized lore about the depths and the sepulcher and the powerful entities that dwell in it, and how they came about this level of power. But you identify this as a fiend heart crystal. There isn't like one type. You gather each one might have a different effect or different powers or qualities based on the nature of the creature that has bound to it. This one specifically is called Bite. And it grants to the one who takes it in to themselves. They have to sort of bind with it the same way as the creature did. It grants a permanent bonus. Whenever you inflict more than 10 points of damage to a creature, you may heal an amount equal to your proficiency bonus.
Oh. Okay. So it seems like this crystal is something that we can take and use for ourselves, but it is the kind of thing that is sort of bound to you. You have to take it into yourself.
I want to give one other thing to Hilda too from the check that you rolled, is that from looking at it and seeing that light inside, the light within the crystal, its source or its nature appears radiant, like divine. And that's where that golden light is coming from, and that sparks that memory is that like that it sort of has a divine presence. What has been encased in it and what has happened to it to bring it to this point has sort of corrupted it, and that's what has brought it to its like current state of being. That there may be a way to sort of cleanse it. I don't think that's immediately sort of obvious to you right now, but yeah, somebody could do essentially exactly what Tolman did and gain a sort of bonus for themselves.
Okay, but yeah, I would have added that, but something tells me that it is not wholly demonic or evil, that its origins might be something
Holy.
Yeah.
So wholly demonic.
If it is,
Go ahead.
yeah, if it is something divine, I mean, I assume we're planning on taking it with us, regardless.
Yeah.
Could we fix it? Could we put it back right?
I don't know. I need to spend some more time with it, but perhaps.
Because I imagine it would be more powerful in its true form.
Yeah, I mean, you have a better connection with this divine stuff than I do, so perhaps. And she kind of like holds it out to Jules.
I'll take it.
Okay. It doesn't, contrary to its name, it doesn't bite. You take it and you feel this sort of malevolence, this weight to it. Yeah. So if none of you are going, you can safely transport it. It's evidence of your victory here.
I'll hold on to it.
Yeah.
And not tell anyone that we have it.
Yeah. You don't get the benefit, the bonus to it unless you shove it into your chest. So
unless anyone's just like really hankering to shove it into their chest right now, I'd like to see if we can cleanse it, fix it, restore it.
Yeah, it might be good to study it, figure out. Yeah, if there is a way to fix it.
So you just said that was like the symbol that we had taken out, Tormund, or
it sort of a, yeah, in a grand sense, it is the only kind of,
because the body is otherwise gone.
Yeah.
Unless you want to show off the bits of his spine you took.
At the same time, if you guys leave this place, I think the assumption is going to be that you killed him.
Gotcha.
It's a lovely cup
Just
of
let
tea.
us leave. It's fine.
Yeah, we talked it out.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. I don't know why I said I'm not following that up with anything.
Okay. Finn steps forward and says, I had an idea, and then there's a crack of lightning, and
Oh, no.
suddenly sucked into the crystal.
Damn it.
All right. Well, I guess it still works on this plane.
Yeah, and at least I have a brief break from him wanting to cut me. That was a little odd.
Yeah, can we...
Yeah.
Okay. So, it wasn't just me. Something's going on with Finn, right?
I certainly hope so. I mean, we've only known him a few days, really, but
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's never, like, really shown any interest in killing or murder or skinning in particular.
Not particularly. So maybe it's something that's part of being here. I don't know, but I mean, Chad makes a good point. We have not known them for that long, but from the brief time we've known them, it doesn't seem that bloodthirsty.
Seems like a nice enough man to me. I'd rather enjoy him the way he is.
Yeah.
Surprising no one.
Gives a big smile.
God, I wish you wouldn't do that.
alright, so do we want to... I assume we should go out, announce our victory, then come back in, rest up, and see what shakes out.
That sounds.
Yeah,
fair.
I'm sure this whole place, maybe there's somewhere slightly less bloody or something. I'm sure we could find somewhere nice.
Here?
I don't know. Maybe, I mean...
Well, if Finn
Who
was
knows,
here,
maybe-
he'd be cleaning it all up, but...
You might have to walk a kind of long way to get to a place like that.
Well... But yes, I think you're right, Chad. We should make a little bit of a show of things, and then Azon could start spreading some rumors about what the new lords of the city would like to have.
Can I do one thing
Also-
before we step out?
We should also advise the surprise us option for the piece.
Ah, yes. Surprises. I like it.
Go ahead, Jules.
I just sort of want to pray over this horrid place before we step out of it and then pretend it's our own for a while.
Right?
Splash some holy water around.
I have a prayer I'd like to say.
Okay, what's the prayer?
Okay. I think, Jules has been thinking about this for a long time. But sort of, I think, goes into the center of this, like, weird temple that we're in.
Torture chamber.
Castle.
Yeah, this
ugh.
weird place. And sort of takes out just is like rummaging through stuff and just like takes out like a little bit of holy water and kind of throws it around, probably where what's his fuck died, and a little bit of stuff, and says a prayer. which I
Also,
have.
Sean. Oh, sorry. I cut off the last of your sentence. What? I'm sorry.
Oh, I say a prayer, which I'm gonna say, but you can go ahead.
No.
Okay.
You don't want to interrupt for what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Continue.
And says a prayer that she wrote herself.
Okay.
And it goes like this. I bless this place in the name of Gethys, God of nature, Father of life. As the roots of your twin trees intertwine, so do the souls of the living and the dead. Let any devils who would pass here fear to tread near your children. Let all whose lives have led them here pass safely into your light. Protect them on their journey, and let them rest in love and peace. And watch over we who still live as we walk the peaks of light and valleys of darkness, carrying your spark in the beating of our hearts.
Azon is just sort of like, he just like starts clapping and then stops and he realizes nobody else is clapping. Says, that was very nice. Kind of takes a couple steps away from you and kind of looks up like he's worried he's going to get struck by.
I don't know if anything actually happens, but I think it makes her feel a lot better.
I think you do get an inspiration for that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
And Kagan starts eating because he thinks that means we're allowed to start eating now.
It does.
But also,
Amen. Dig in.
Dig in. So we talked about like the kind of like the screams, the choir of screams, like earlier. This whole time I've been picturing and imagining we come up into some sort of like grisly organ that like where you step on like the pedals, like people are getting stabbed and stuff like that, like screaming into tubes. Is there anything like that? Some sort of like nightmare organ where there's like bodies being strung from it, and like every time you press the keys, and it's like like
There is now.
okay, all right, because I was picturing this the whole time and I was waiting to get to this last bit.
There is definitely across the room and shrouded in shadows. Kagan walks towards it and catches just the vaguest outline of the
Okay.
nightmare organ.
Okay, the nightmare organ. I do want to
The
press
body
one
organ.
note. I do wanna, I'm not gonna get intense in this. I do want to press just one note.
Yeah, press the note, and they're just this like,
It's like,
just
oh crap!
yeah. Oh, beans.
I love that. I love the idea of like an individual for each note of the scales. Okay. Anyways,
Yep.
that's all I wanted to say.
It's better than anything I could have come up with. So yeah. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So you play around with that, play heart and soul.
Oh, beans!
All right. So you guys head back towards the entrance. The
What if we leave Gina in as the figurehead of power, and then when she poofs, everyone's just like,
She's in charge.
that would be something. You walk through the front doors. As you approach them, they sort of open on their own, and you walk out of the massive citadel here, and you see a legion of devils in perfect order, lines, all remaining at attention, waiting outside of the gates of the citadel, standing there, looking up for their continued or new ruler.
Okay, kind of looks at Chad and be like, I
Yeah.
think you got this.
gonna fire
And I'm gonna give him inspiration.
Okay.
gonna fire up the thaumaturgy. So his voice booms out and just Holman Iron Eyes lies defeated, vanquished by our might and power. Recognize our strength. We demand tribute. You have 12 hours in which to bring it to us. Just kind of leaves it at that, glances to see if anyone's gonna do the thing where you whisper into the speech maker's ear.
No, but I think Joel just has this look on her face like, do something.
Go ahead
Dare
and
you.
make an intimidation check. I'll give you advantage on it, and then you get your inspiration.
Yes.
Oh, you get advantage? Okay, great.
That's already pretty good, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the advantage. It's a D8 now.
The inspiration is a yes, D8.
Oh, that was almost so good. If I'd rolled max, well, anyway, that works out to 28 intimidation.
Yes, yes, yes.
If I'd gotten max, it would have been 30.
Oh dang.
There is absolutely no reaction from the legions in front of you, which you probably take as a good sign.
Yeah.
Because these are well-trained, lawful, militant beings, and they are remaining in absolute sort of obedience and maintaining their standing right now, given that very intimidating check. You do see, like, towards the back of the lines, there are some figures that are like larger than the others, or seem to be distinguished from the others, like officers or commanders of these individual like retinues that make up this legion, that are, some of them are standing together. They're too far away to really make out at this point. Some of them are very large, some of them are smaller, and Azon sort of like he nudges and points out to all of you and says, those are the ones that you're going to want to worry about, but like I said, they probably won't make their move for a while. So that was well, though. We should probably use this and dramatically enter back into the Yeah.
I
So-
think just for show, Chad is going to cast Searing Smite, with which one is it? One of my tiefling things also means that Chad erupts into flames. And It's just going to, for extra effect as we turn around and head back in.
That's good. That's good. Okay. You guys enter back through the doors, which mystically close behind you, leaving you in this citadel of torture again. So, you guys want to take a nap here?
Yeah.
Preferably in a tiny hut for extra security.
Yeah. Hilda kind of wants to explore a little bit. Because we only went down one corridor and there was like 4 others.
Yes. Okay.
But
So I'll say
that's
you guys
just
can. Yeah,
what I
so
want to do.
you guys can take your long rest. So I'll let everybody go.
I'll let them explore because I need to rest.
Yeah. So everyone take a long rest. But I think Hilda, you go and.
What if I make the tiny hut and I have my kitten go exploring? I can
That works
see
too.
her eyes.
Okay.
Because if I leave the tiny hut, it dissipates.
You do sort of explore. So yeah, you have Panger go and explore around the hallways that you haven't gone down before. You find a lot of rooms that are just going to be more of what I've described before, which is grisly, horrific, just
great.
badness. That seems to be the gross majority of what's going on here. I will have Panger make an investigation check.
Investigation. Let's see.
Or yeah, investigation I think works best.
All right, let me see. All right.
You can, I guess, use your modifier because you're the one that's kind of guiding them. Yeah.
All right. That is. Oops. Pull up the sheet. 19.
19. Okay. You do find, after some kind of snooping around, most of this building, this facility seems very utilitarian. It's not like a lot of guest bedrooms here. You do find a spiraling staircase at one point that Panger does follow and leads up to one of the towers that comes out of this citadel. And Panger finds a room, like the quarters of Tolman. There isn't like a bed or anything in here. You don't gather that Tolman needed to sleep.
Of course not.
But there are some like more personal effects here, and this room doesn't seem to have the utilitarian purpose of pain and torture and things like that. There's like a spare like headpiece in the corner. There's not, but just that sort of clues you in. There are some chests in this room that I don't think that Panger can get into. These big like iron locked chests. And there is a mirror leaning up against the far wall, not hanging from it, but just kind of leaning up against it. It has a like a piece of fabric hanging that's like half hanging off of it, so part of the mirror is exposed. So yeah, Panger does see all this.
Okay. Tells the others. Panger found what looks like Tolman's rooms, and there was some chests and things up there. We should go check it out later.
Maybe Jules and I can go up, bring those down while you two rest up. Did Azon come back in with us, or is he out spreading rumors?
I think Azon went out, spread rumors and stuff. Yeah.
He went out the back door where no one was watching. Okay. That sounds great. Panger's up there, so I will know if anything's up.
Could you maybe bring him back first to show us the way?
Yes. Have him come back and have him sort of lead them up there.
Okay.
He just gets to the chest and like meows so loud and obnoxiously at the chest.
Yeah. So you head up the stairs, and after you've had your chance to rest before the 12 hours are up, and so Jules and Chad, you guys are going up there. Is that?
Yes.
So you reach this room. There's just overarching like malevolence to it. There's some spare robes on the far wall, but otherwise there is this like there's same architecture, like the home, the resting place of something very powerful and very old, and there's not a lot of like extra like stuff to it. You do find, so there are the two chests in the corner, these iron bound, rectangular vessels, and then a 4-foot tall mirror that's bound in another sort of black thorny looking metal on the against the far wall.
Creepy.
Yes, but that seems to have been his aesthetic. All right.
No accounting for taste.
Guess let's try and cover up the rest of the mirror and start taking this stuff back down.
Yeah.
So you guys just carry the whole chests downstairs. Okay, yeah, you take all that downstairs. It takes you a little while because you have to carry them together because they're kind of heavy, but after 3 trips, you got everything.
Okay. Yeah, and I would like to say that Hilda actually doesn't take a rest, but is instead like furiously sort of like studying her spellbook when you guys get back.
Oh, I forgot to mention one other thing is the bell.
Yes, also the bell.
Yeah. So you do notice the bell is sort of, it's like the other one, the I think it was the enchantment bell.
Yes,
previously.
bound.
It looks just restored in some fashion. That's hard to really describe. It looks like it's brand new again, and it's radiating with this energy to it. This one's a little less complicated than the other one. You, as long as you are using or you're attuned to the bells as an item, you have +2 to your AC.
Whoa!
A shimmering form of arcane protection. This abjuration has like permanently engulfed you.
Sweet. Okay. But yeah, so she's studying, the bell, and then is also like working in her spell book and is not taking a rest.
Okay.
Can I say a thing I did before we rested, but I didn't really have a chance for it?
Sure.
I think I was talking to Kagan briefly, and though I tell him he owes me before we went to sleep, we used my last big spell slot to cast Greater Restoration on him to get rid of one of his levels of exhaustion.
Okay. So, and then your long rest will get rid of the other.
Do I tell him, when we get out of here, you owe me 100 gold?
If you help me count, okay.
All right. So long rest passes. You have the chests. Do you guys want to like open them up and look at them, or just like leave them there as furniture?
Although examining them to see if there's any kind of traps.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the smart people should do that.
Yeah, someone needs to make an investigation check.
I mean, if someone else wants to do it, I can help. My investigation is okay.
Hilda does have 1 level of exhaustion now.
Oh, maybe I'll do
You're
it.
muted, Morgan.
Yes, I was just marking that I do have 1 level of
Jesus!
Oop,
Rude.
there it is.
Sean! You knew that was coming.
I did not. I just didn't react to it.
Nothing scares you, spooky face. My intelligence is a +4, so I could try.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing scares me more than my own face. Go ahead and make an investigation
Wow.
check.
Okay. All right. So
So Jules, you want to make one too? And
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Investigation. 18?
22.
Oh, dang.
The chests themselves, so you do gather that the chests are locked. They don't appear to be trapped, though.
Seem like there might be an adverse effect other than damage to the chests if we bash the locks open.
Nah. They're hardy chests.
Yeah. So either we can
They're
head
full
back
of
up
hearts.
to his room, try and find the keys, or I can just try and break the locks open.
I mean, I can go look if you... I mean, you seem like you just want to break them open.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
Hilda
we-
sort of looks at you tiredly and is like, you could just break it.
I'm not opposed to just helping you sort of smash them all open at this point.
Yeah, let's just do that. Those were a lot of stairs.
We've done our cardio for the day.
Yeah.
I'll help! I have a big smashy mace.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna have you guys roll for it. The two of you smash the locks off the chests, and then you pop them open. It's not a pleasant sight inside. There are some trophies. Looks like gathered over eons of whatever you think that a creature of this power and age would find as like a trophy. The remnants of them are inside, pieces of bone, desiccated bits of flesh and other organs, things like that. There are some other more valuable things inside, though. You find you find some gemstones inside that are probably fairly valuable. They're pretty rough. They're raw, like rough cut. They're not like they haven't been like refined or cut in the way that you would be familiar with in your the more civilized society. But they do appear to be quite valuable. There is also a few implements in there, items and other things. There's like a golden dagger inside. There's also a very ornate looking sickle that is actually in its own like box tucked away inside the chest. I'll get you the count of the gemstones and stuff here in a second.
The sickle is probably something special. You can take the minute to, or the 10 minutes to glance it over, Hilda.
Oh yeah, that would be good. Kind of sets up for ritual identify.
Okay.
You've identified sickle down economics.
Oh my god.
Okay. Do spell slots come back even if I don't take a rest?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have whatever you've spent, you don't have those right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Looking for
Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely do it as a ritual.
okay. You identify the sickle. It is a magical enchantment.
Mhm.
It is a +2 weapon, and it also deals an additional 1d. What is it again? Deals an additional 1d6 fire damage on a hit.
Ooh. You're right, Chad. This is quite magical.
Yes. Although How much do sickles do by default? Is it only
1d4.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would be a nice feather in the cap for filling out just a complete armory, but if someone else wants to take first grabs at it.
The expansive armory.
Yeah, is a simple weapon.
Okay. I can use simple weapons.
Me too.
I can take it.
Muted Savannah.
Me too.
Yeah, it does. Looks like there's fire embedded in it, so it does a little extra. But
So you have that. Whoever wants to use that.
My mace is already fancy, so.
okay, I'll take it then. Okay.
You also have gemstones and of varying types, rubies and emeralds and diamonds and things like that in the chests that equal to about 5,000 gold, based on your estimate.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Party inventory with that.
Okay. Also, I need to take some out of the inventory because Hilda was learning some spells in the night while everyone was resting. But I think they're good spells.
If you guys specifically mark those as 5,000 gold worth of gemstones, so that if anybody has spells that required gemstones, they can use those.
Okay. Yeah, out of character, so you guys know. I learned the spell Blur and Haste.
Nice.
I think would be good. Buffing spells.
Yeah.
So now
At the
there's-
cost of not sleeping.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta pull an all-nighter.
Yep. And
So
also she was freaked out by what she saw.
I want to get to one thing. So you have those. You also have the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
which I think one of you at some point as you're going past the mirror notices like this faint kind of distorted reflection in it of like something that's not in the room with you. Just this ghostly form within the mirror itself.
It's probably me.
And I'm just going to cut because we're running low on time here. If Hilda spends any time with it to identify it, it is a mirror of life trapping.
What is that? That sounds intense.
Which is a mirror that you can basically, if a creature sees the mirror and you know the command word to it, which you could if you spend some time with it, it has to make a charisma saving throw or become trapped in the mirror. So you can use it as like a prison for creatures.
We had one in
How
Survivor's
big is it?
Complex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that mirror.
Yeah, it's about 4
Oh.
feet tall, so transporting it might be a little bit of an
Well,
issue.
Bigger than I am.
Yeah. So it's very big and it's fragile, but it is it's a pretty valuable item.
Can we tell if anybody's in it?
Well, you saw like a distorted sort of reflection in it, so
Yeah.
there's probably some things in it. But you'll have to spend some time, and the only way to sort of call forward a creature that's in it is to either speak a command word to free the creature or to speak its name and have it can be brought to the mirror's surface. So we can get to that later. Like I said, I want to wrap up with one other thing. So the 12 hours pass, and an Azon returns, and he says, "There are some people that are waiting outside to make their offerings, and like you asked, I think that I was able to spread some. You should have what you need." All right. Are we ready?
Perfect. Like gives a big yawn. Yeah, let's go check it out.
All right. So you all walk out the front doors and back onto the dais and the descending stairways, and you can see outside less than before, but there's a long line of these fiends that are waiting to give you their offerings of servitude. And so the four of you with Azon currently stand at the top of this stairwell and the staircase, and one by one these entities come up to you, these devils of varying shapes and sizes. Some of them this sort of a dark color, kind of slouched and smaller, some of them tall and sort of more human-like Azon, some of them big and lumbering, these massive creatures. Most of them seem to wear some amount of armor and regalia of this territory. A lot of them, though, you notice the insignia they would have branded on their armor, or the flags they would have been burned away as whatever the original marks of Tolman Iron Eyes have been destroyed. They don't really know what your mark is yet, or what you guys haven't really flown in insignia, so they just destroyed.
Figured out our guild symbol.
Yeah, but I don't know if you guys will be here long enough to figure that out. So yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
You have to get a GIF though to make that work, which is a little harder to upload. You have to email it to yourself and then Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So they come up one at a time and they make their small offerings. Some of them offer weapons, some of them offer little valuable items. I'll say throughout the course of this, you all get about 300 gold pieces more of just tchotchkes, little souvenirs from your time spent in the Sepulchre of Eternal Fire.
I went to hell and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
There are a couple t-shirts in there.
So Kagan is now wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah. You do get some clothes and stuff that they offer, silks and things like
Just
that.
Just a t-shirt though.
Yeah. One of them, eventually some of them do come up and make an offering of these three about large winged creatures. They have this red, almost rock-like exterior scaling, and each one of them has these brass collars and chains that sort of bound them like harnesses. Their faces are sort of draconic, lizard-like looking, but they are pierced with these studs throughout them that these chains are woven through. And most of them are scarred fairly badly, but they have these long, 30 or 40 foot wingspans. These very big creatures, and as they are offered to you, Azon leans and says, "I don't think you'll find a better means of transportation than rock fiends. They're fairly, they're quick. They're a bit temperamental, but they should get you where you need to go."
Can I try to put my hand out to one?
Make an animal handling check.
Hello, am friend.
See if this works as well as the last time.
25.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with that. You go up to the biggest one, the meanest looking one.
Yeah, well, duh.
And you just lock eyes with it. It locks eyes with you, and it kind of snarls a bit, and you get this putrid stench that comes out from its mouth, and kind of leans in. But as you lock eyes with it in this show of dominance, eventually it sort of averts and it lowers its head and this long neck downwards, and you sort of pat the top of its head, and then
I just look back towards Chad because he's the one that's been doing all the talking, so I'm just pretending he's in charge.
Okay.
I think Chad has mostly been doing little small nods, or just yes, this is acceptable, putting on often a sneer to just be I guess this is good enough. I'll let you live for now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joel's just gonna lean into that and be like, yes, I'm the big strong one that protects you. These are good creatures.
Finally, though, one of the last offerings, there's a shorter, kind of wider set devil that is comes kind of waddling up the stairs, and he has sort of rattier clothes, doesn't look as high a rank as some of the others, and bows for you and says, "The masters, I offer this lowly gift as a sign of my goodwill towards you," and holds out his hands, and in his hands you see a set of tarot cards.
Do we recognize these tarot cards?
You do. These are the same ones that for Ryan who looks confused, these are the same ones that you've seen Matthias carrying previously. And as you take them from him and you look at the cards, they have the same sort of abstract, like watercolor sort of artwork on them.
I think Chad is going to take them, look them over, and just say, "I would like to speak with you further on this."
I apologize if my offering offends you, Master. I did not mean to do so.
Jules looks like she's gonna smash his head in right now. So
and he reaches in, he finds some like these smaller like gemstones. Says, "I have more like an offer if this was not sufficient for you."
I wish to speak with you on where you acquired these cards. I find them quite appealing.
At this, he kind of lightens a bit, and there's a little bit of like sort of a smile on his face, like when he realizes that you're not offended by his offer, and then you see him kind of retract back. But he says, "I am so they are the only ones I could retrieve. I believe they're the only of their kind. We took them from a wanderer that we found in the wastes. An interesting creature believed from another plane. I am not in possession of this creature anymore, but this
Where
is
is
all
it?
I have." It looks to you and then looks back up to Chad and
Who took this creature?
he was sold to Dorganath.
Which one was that? I think your mic cut out just ever so slightly.
Dorganath, the cinder touched. Ruler of the City of Flames.
Poor bastard.
Jules has never looked less chill than in this moment. I think that charisma of a whole 6 is coming out.
If I had known you would be interested in purchasing such a creature, I would not have dared sullied my honor by selling to the Cinder Touched. But at the time, I needed to offload some goods, and that was the closest settlement. And he kind of was looking around and realizing that you're not necessarily responding to his pleas, and he sort of shuts up.
I thank you for this gift of knowledge you have given me, and these cards.
Of course. If with your permission, I'll take my leave to allow you.
Yes, that would be best.
And he bows and continues to skulk down the stairway. And you wave off the rest of the patrons as they, the offers as they are waiting. And there's only a couple more left, but they all kind of scatter away. Some of them dropping their offerings on the stairs as they do.
Jules is like melting right now.
Oh.
Literally, because she's made of ice.
Once all the petitioners have left, turning to the others, Well, I guess we know where we're going next.
Yeah, I just assumed he was in the gem. I guess we had no way of knowing.
Azon, how do we get to Joggernoth City from here?
Um, if that is where you are wanting to go, I can certainly.
We're
guide you
going there. How do we get there?
It's a bit further away. It's if windward is that direction, it'd be about 2 days with flights now, and you could probably make it there fairly quickly. I could take you there. It's not on the way that you were wanting to go towards the.
You will take us there.
All right. I will take you there.
Trying to think if now we just do the power move, because most of us have rested if we just hop on the rock fiends and fly off now.
We out!
The only thing that's keeping Jules on the ground right now is like, ooh, you got about 10 seconds before she just flies away, probably.
Maybe if we can quickly cobble together out of the tchotchkes, they gave us enough components to remove Hilda's exhaustion, and then peace out.
Oh.
I got it.
I think
It's all right. I feel fine. We should just go.
if we're going to be flying, you need to be awake enough so you don't fall off.
Give me some of the gems.
And Chad is going to head inside to grab the mirror, figure out a way to, tie that onto one of the rock fiends.
Just scoop up some of the whatevers people have left behind as
All right.
offerings.
You guys take some chains and rope and stuff, and you latch on the chests and the mirror and everything you can onto the rock fiends. And
I need about
Azon's-
100 gold right now.
okay,
Scoop.
yeah, you can take that easy enough from the. and
Great.
Give her a 5-hour energy.
In a bright light and a show of power, I'm going to cast Greater Restoration on Hilda.
And just slap her in the face with divine power.
No!
Wake
I
up!
think she does need to wake up a little bit.
Wake up!
Wake up. Put your leisure keys up on the table.
Shake up.
You wanted to!
Get out of the table.
All right.
I want to see if Captioner can handle that.
Oh my
Not mine, I was
you-
just going,
You all begin to load up on the rock fiends, and Azon kind of saddles over to Cake and says, "Do you know what's going on here?"
Tell you on the way, Azon.
Oh, but not me. Okay, cool.
I don't know how well we'll be able to shout over the flapping of the flight, but
you want to kill more devils or not?
Devils. That's why I didn't put up a fight earlier.
All right, I'm along for the ride. And you
Azon,
all-
you're with me.
all right.
Yeah, how many of the feats are there?
There's two, three,
Okay.
three. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it could easily 2 of you can fly on each one or less. They're
Okay.
big. They're big creatures. I would probably say that. I would probably actually classify them as huge. I think I said large before. So big enough that 3 medium or smaller size creatures. could
I'm
ride.
so torn because I super want Hilda with me, but also I don't want to just give this dwarf we don't know a whole, dragon.
Just think about that image of him swooping in on
Killing
some
all the
creatures.
devils.
It's like
All right, so we got-
Hilda, you're with me.
Holding Spinebreaker out, like,
God!
I want to taste more devil blood.
Hilda, you're with me, and I stab her.
All right. Hilda and Jules on one, Chad and
Yeah.
Ace on another, and then Kagan on his own.
God, I just...
Yes, please.
Well, once Finn pops out mid-flight.
Yeah. And the 3 of you, the 3 rock fiends go spring off into the distance, leaving a very confused mass of devils in the city below, watching
gods now?
as you soar away. And that's where we're going to end our session for tonight. And we'll pick up next week for the rescue of Matthias.
Oh,
I
our
am
body.
hurt.
Or, not a rescue,
I am offended.
Maybe just a burial.
I am angry.
Oh, she's gonna be so pissed.
I think you'll appreciate just feeling something.
Hey, you don't know if you ended up in the crystal. Baroomba could be wandering out there.
Yeah, we have no idea.
That's true.
We have no way of knowing.
Baroomba is wandering around until he finds the bone graveyard, and then we'll just lie down and fall asleep.
Oh,
Never wake back up.
no.
It was right thing, I guess. Hilda's with me on like a weird demon rock. I think Jules, as she gets madder, just gets colder.
Ooh, it's chilly.
He's a little chilly up here in the skies.
I'll put on some happier music to bring us out. Thank you everyone out there for watching this spooky spectacular here, spooktacular you might say. We will be back next week to continue this adventure and see where the winds may take us. In the meantime, come and check out any of our other streams throughout the week. Like I said, there's no Almost Are True this week. Unfortunately, Savannah and I will be in Orlando, so we'll be busy.
I think we will actually be doing Tidefall this week and then skipping next week. We're kind of shifting Tidefall this month because of schedules and traveling and then Thanksgiving, so
fair. Okay,
we'll tweet about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Check out our Twitter for everything, and then join us on Discord, and we'll, we can have your finger on the pulse of everything that's happening on GGK. I think that's pretty much everything going out this week. There'll be another storyboard on Wednesday, so we get into just some shenanigans, and then I think that's it. So anybody else have anything they want to plug, promote? Nope.
My anger. Can I plug my anger?
Nope. Yeah, save that for next week. Bottle it up. So
Save it.
We'll see everybody next Saturday. And in the meantime, or until then, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night,
Good night,
Internet.
Internet.